Good evening and welcome to our Covenant Healthcare sponsored pregame show on Bay County TV. Jeff Doan and Jason Newsham along with you as we look into a matchup tonight. Excitement, Jason. We have 2-1 versus 2-1.
2-1 versus 2-1 neighbors, so to speak, right down the road. Midland Dow played in a couple classic games last year, one in the regular season, followed up with a greater performance in the playoffs. The one thing I'm happy about right now is we have a sunny day. It's beautiful out, and there's no rain in the forecast, so things are looking up.
Well, from Midland Dow, it's like when you got a money for quarterback at Midland High, it seems like Backus has been here forever at Midland Dow, finally a senior.
Yeah, he's a great athlete, 6'5". He does a lot of great things. It's one of those things where he kind of can dictate and has been around on the varsity level now for a couple of years where he kind of really has a good feel for everything that he does out there, whether it's running, whether it's reading the defense, it's getting his guys lined up. Sometimes he just likes to get the ball and, go himself because at 6'5", and you need a couple of inches, he knows he can get it.
He really has not, to this point in the season, run anywhere near the way he did last year. I don't know if that's due to injury. I know he signed a baseball contract at Coastal Carolina. Don't know if there's a gentleman's handshake there to bring him to Coastal Carolina healthy. I don't know, but I know he is a prolific passer and has great vision at 6'5" and great touch on the ball.
We've had the pleasure of watching some very good quarterbacks with that size, and when they start winging the ball all over the field. But, again, when you're Western, you've got to think in the back of your mind, he is a capable runner at 6'5". And whether it's a couple of yards or a couple of inches, you're always thinking in the back of your mind, what can he do? Because he is a gamer, and he will do what he needs to do to get the job done for his Charger teammates.
They've scored 80 points, given up 69 this year. So these just indicates that the games have been fairly close that they've played. Rushing 376 yards, passing 427 for a total of 803. So you divide that by 3 games, and they're in the 265, 270 yard a game range.
They are, and they might even be the tops in the SVL, the blue division, North division. I don't know what they call blue. So they're at the top there. They're also the top on the defensive side of things. So, they play a pretty well-controlled game that makes them or gives them opportunities to come out victorious.
Well, and when you look at the rushing and passing, the defense gives up 483 rushing and 256 passing for a total of 789. So you pretty much have a wash between what they do offensively and what they give up defensively.
Right. And at the end of the day, when you're in a close game and you have somebody that can control the game as your quarterback can, we've talked about, it's everything you want as a coach, especially if you don't have a team that has, maybe a breakout runner, a breakout receiver that's going to get you 200 yards all-purpose every game. You've got to be able to rely on playing. Basically, you want to be able to play neutral long enough to give yourself an opportunity, keep the games close enough to give yourself an opportunity, so at the end of it, you come out victorious.
28 of 47 for Backus on the year, 363 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 INT, almost a 60% passing clip. So he's there. Rushing, they've got Miller as their leading rusher. He's got 202 yards, averaging 4.8 per carry.
If you can get 5 yards a carry over the course of the first three weeks, because you got to remember, if you do that in week 1, what happens in week 2? The defense sees that on film. What do they do in week 3? They see it on film. So if you're still able to churn out that, and again, maybe another reason where Backus doesn't have to maybe run as much, be as prolific from the running aspect of it, because he has more opportunity to hand it off. He's got great receivers that he can get the ball out to, and again, at 60%, you're doing pretty well.
And the way the offense moves, run, pass, it's very diversified, and they can rely on one or the other depending on what's working best.
Well, that's the other thing is you don't marry yourself to one system or the other. When you've got playmakers and you've got possible ways to create havoc on the defense, you don't have to. It's not running the Mouse Davis, run and shoot where you got 5 receivers and pretty much guaranteed that you're going to pass the ball. So when you got that, and again, think about what it does to the defense. It makes you have to play both ways.
Western, on the other hand, comes in 2-1. Other than about a quarter and a half of football up in Petoskey, they've played a very Chris Willerts-like football this year, which is great news.
Well, the thing and we talked with Coach last year, and just in passing conversation, you know, he was excited about last year's group, and then he was excited about this year's group continuing and not trying to compare themselves to last year's team. Last year's team was special. They have some players that came up as juniors this year that would have been brought up on most normal years to the varsity as sophomores, but there was a system that he had in place. He wanted to get this last senior group that graduated last year, get them through their season, and knowing that their JV team was successful, their freshman team was successful, his middle school programs are successful, and they're all playing the Willerts way. You don't want to call it the right way, we're going to call it the Willerts way.
Well, 827 yards rushing, 3 yards better than Midland High as the top team in the Northern Division, which is the Blue Division, passing 255, so 1,082 yards through 3 games. That equates to like 360 a shot.
Yeah, and we know that they've got some fantastic runners. I mean, you look at their roster, and, you know, us specifically being involved with these kids from, you know, youth basketball, youth football, flag football, things of the past, you know, these names are all getting familiar now. They're all starting to churn over, and you're starting to go, oh, I remember that. They've got very capable players that can take the ball the distance. They also have some players who can grind it out and get you those 3-4 yards.
Well, they've given up just over 260 yards a game. So you look at this, and the offense has put together about 300 more yards in 3 games. And when you predominantly have success running the football, you control the game, you limit your opponent's possessions, and you move the chains.
Well, last year the biggest thing, they had some good receivers. They had a nice jet sweep last year. They had a couple of real dynamic playmakers. But at the end of it, like you said, if you can control the game, you're on the ground, you've got guys that can break it. And I think that's the one thing about your time of possession. In a regular situation, I think Coach Willerts would like to control the game 75-25, 70-30. But he's got some guys that once they hit the corner, your time of possession now is about 15 seconds.
Well, you got Aiden Robinson. He's got 55 rushes for 481. That's 8.7 yards. And your simple math says he's averaging 160 yards a game. So he's the main mail carrier, as they say. He
is, and he's a dynamic athlete. He plays all the sports. He does well at all the sports. He's a great coachable kid. Comes from a great family. The one thing about Aiden, you know, when you're getting 8.7 yards, it's not just about the runs. It's trying to figure out ways that Coach Willerts can get him involved in other aspects, whether it's a quick throw, just getting him out in space, because when you're getting 8-7, I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out you're going to get a first down giving that guy the ball twice.
When you look at what this rivalry is coming, you talked earlier, they're next-door neighbors, but this rivalry over the last 4 or 5 years has really become something special.
It's fun. They compete at the highest level against each other, and I'm not saying they don't against other teams, but they really compete hard against each other. We saw it in both games last year. You know, the one thing about it is this is a rivalry that they've had for many years. And tonight with homecoming and all the festivities and everything else, I worry, you know, and I'm sure Coach Willerts is probably thinking in the back of his mind, how are his guys going to come out? Are they going to come out too ramped up? Is there going to be too much energy? Is there going to be too much of this? It's really that first couple of drives on offense, the first drive on defense, to see how they're maintaining and handling, you know, the adrenaline rush, the parade, the floats that are floating around, the courts, you know, all the stuff that goes on, all the things as a coach, you love it.
That can be distractions.
Yes, you love it as a coach because it's great. It's for the team. It's for the school. It's for the community. But then you're also going, hey, we got to dial it in because we got a football game to play.
Well, I am looking forward to the possibilities tonight. Sit back, relax, and enjoy as that puts the wraps on our Covenant Healthcare sponsored pregame show. Back with what should be a fun, festive game here in just a moment on BCTV.
At Covenant Healthcare, we lead with the most advanced technology. We lead with the most experienced, comprehensive medical and surgical teams. We lead with partnerships to teach our future doctors, and with organizations who help us bring world-renowned care close to home. We lead because our patients are at the center of everything we do. Covenant Healthcare, extraordinary care for every generation.
Welcome Western Warrior football. Welcome the Western 8th grade band as they join the Warrior Marching Band on the field for a performance of a medley from the 2003 hit film Pirates of the Caribbean. Please stand and join Band Director Dustin Vanderveer, the Western Alumnus and Western Marching Band, in honoring our school, the Western High School alma mater. and gentlemen, at this time, we ask you all please rise and direct your attention to the American flag located in the south end zone as the Western Marching Band performs our national anthem.
Good evening and welcome back to the cornfield. Jeff Doe and Jason Newsham. Glad to have you along tonight, along with Nick Page, producing, directing, and filming tonight. We are in for a fun one tonight, Jason.
Yeah, I think after all the pregame festivities, the parades, the marching band, they had the middle school guys helping out with the marching band, all the fun stuff that goes with it. I think now it's just time to settle down and play a little football.
And that is exactly right. Set to kick off is going to be somebody that became new to us at the end of the year last year, young Eli Malin, but he got instant fame, almost Harold Who fame in one kick.
And one kick in the middle of a rainstorm and took them to the, the regional final? Is that how the football starts? It's your opening weekend.
And there is the kickoff as the powder flies. Way back at the 8-yard line is Parker. Parker trying to come up the field. He finds a little crease. He's heading down the sidelines with a head of steam. He's down at the 40, the 30, the 25, the 20, the 15, 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Parker's into the end zone. It's a Midland Dow Charger touchdown.
Wow. Well, let's just talk about him for a quick second. Not only is he a receiver, but evidently he's a kick returner as well.
And he's their wide receiver that gets the most attention. So obviously Western may have just overkicked their coverage as he went back and...
Well, he kept going back, too, so there's a good chance. We've seen it a couple of times where it just goes into the end zone.
Oh, we got a holding penalty way back here at the 36-yard line. So nullify the Parker 6. He gets the Parker 0 on the opening return, but I'm going to tell you what, nonetheless, that was impressive.
It was very, the fact that he kept going back usually means you're out kicking your coverage, but it's also tough to get your return set up as well when you're going back that far. So give him some credit for finding a little bit of space here and there, and then was able to take it to the house, albeit for not.
Well, we now have a better idea of what sprung him on that far sideline, and that was a hold.
Well, looking back on that film, I think they're going to try and figure out, I don't know if that he really needed any extra help out there. He was doing a lot of good work out there on his own. But on the other side, he's back on the field right now. No rest needed.
Well, he's in the slot, but I would almost guarantee you they're not going to go to him on first down. He's still trying to fill the lungs full of air again. Again, Backus, the starting quarterback, he's in, I believe, his third year, but it seems like he's been here forever.
Yeah, I think, again, we know so many of these kids and hear about them from their youth level, and you read about them in their Little League days and their ventures and the travel ball. And I don't know about you, but speaking on mine, I just feel like I know most of these kids, and I felt like we've been announcing them for years.
1st and 10 for the Midland Dow Chargers. Ball back at their own 26-yard line. Backus gets that ball high, and he comes forward, and he's going to move the pile for about 4 yards out to the 31-yard line. And again, after the first game and a half, he really didn't do much running, but we watched last year, and that boy can certainly handle the mail.
Yeah, he's averaging a paltry 2.2 yards per carry, but, that's just him falling forward, being 6'5" and stretching the ball out. So, that one was able to get a little bit of extra push up front and got 4.
Call it second down and 6 yards to go, and obviously with 2.2 yards per rush, you got to take into account if he's been sacked. So motion now going to the wide side of the field. Bakes is going to throw on that little slant pattern out there, very close to the first down, and picking it up is number 10, Drew Yeiter. As Yeiter does a nice job in motion. He was the primary target for Bakes. He looked there right away and threw a nice, soft, confidence-building pass.
Yeah, absolutely. Able to get his guy to the outside as well. I think that's one of the things that either of these two teams can get to the outside is the team that's going to have more success tonight.
So now they're going to move Parker to the wide side of the field. As they try a quick pitch to the outside, Western's got that figured out. A missed tackle at the point of attack. And a gain on the play out to about the 44-yard line before he's knocked out of bounds.
Look at Landon Miller on the carry. He's going to be certainly somebody that they're going to feature in their backfield for the Chargers tonight.
As, again, not one of those situations where you want somebody that you have put in perfect position to make that tackle, and he came up empty. Again, trying to pitch to the outside. Much better pursuit that time by the Western Warriors.
Yeah, I think
Miller gets the ball again.
Miller gets the ball, but I think the biggest thing right there was stopping at the point of contact. That was the same look that they had in the first play. Similar, if not everything, but they missed the tackle. So what the difference is you make the tackle, you hold them before the first down.
Well, that time Zach Resmer flowed very, very well to the football and had the initial hit defensively. But Midland now is going to go outside, and then all of a sudden they're going to either run a quick counter to the inside or go right up the middle, just as they've got people looking to the outside. But Western brings 12 into the box. Baker's trying to fall forward, and he is going to move the pile, but I believe he is going to be just shy of the first down at just short of the 48-yard line. And on the other side, the referee says, nope, don't even need to measure it. We're going to give him the first down, and that'll move the sticks again. And again, Bakes was hit 2 yards short of that first down mark, but he had good push, and he falls forward.
It doesn't take much. You know, not only is he 6'5", he's a strong 6'5". You're talking 6'5", 210. Western played it correctly defensively. They put the pressure up the middle. They knew, I shouldn't say they knew, but they had a pretty good inkling what was coming. Except Bakes just made the play.
Well, and he's a great athlete, too. He's going to Coastal Carolina, which is a baseball factory.
Oh, it's not a bad football school either.
Yep, yeah.
Chanticleers.
They can play a little bit of football as well. You are correct. So it'll be 1st and 10, and they're talking right now on the sidelines as Matt Peterson is going over something. And with 10 and 28 left in our first quarter, all those plays to the outside. And I do not know. Do they have an injury, or they can't be doing a hydration break here at this point?
No, he pointed at him as a timeout, but I don't know if it was an injury or if it was an actual Midland Dow timeout called.
Well, they did not give us a good indication of exactly what's going on. We'll take a quick break and be back in a moment on BCTV. So your car is getting towed and you're not sure where to take it? Try Village Towing and Auto Repair. Our expert mechanics are here to help assist you with all your repair needs. We have over 30 years of experience with motor vehicles, so you know you're getting the best work that you can find. Stop by the shop at 2377 South Huron Road in Coquitlam, or give us a call at 989-684-9607. Back here on BCTV as both teams with still 3 timeouts on the board, so I'm just a little perplexed by what they potentially called. I know it's going to be 1st and 10 Midland down.
It'll be interesting to see. A little quick talk with Coach Willards and the defensive staff. The Warriors think they know what's coming. Let's see if they can get a stop here, at least put Midland down in a second and long situation.
Handoff up the middle, going absolutely nowhere is Landon Miller again, as he might have picked up a yard to the 49-yard line. Boy, they let that play go on, and the line judge on this side is trying to give a quick explanation to Western that's going on, and he barely turned around to see what was going on in front of him.
Well, 2nd and 8. We just talked about getting a good stop on first down for the Western defense. put Midland down maybe on their heels, maybe make Backus be a drop back passer instead of one that's just able to fling the ball out on second and short here.
Joey Decuff at the inside linebacker is key too. He's a little bit undersized, but he flies to the football. And there, I was going to say they had to have gotten a false start because all the defensive linemen's feet only got to midfield. And so an early mistake by the Midland Dow Chargers is going to bring that ball back to the 45, put a double stick, second down, and almost 14-yard to go situation. That's a break for Western.
Yeah, Cason Frost looked like he may have been coming in hard from the end position from his linebacker slot, and then got a couple of those Midland Dow offensive guys trying to maybe guess their own snap count.
You know, I think Cason Frost is one of those X-factor players tonight on defense. Able to make great plays. He can fly to the football.
He likes contact, too. He likes hitting people.
Right on cue. He just unable to finish it. There's Decuff making a big tackle down at the 43-yard line. But Frost just got in there on that play, and Miller just dipped to the inside and away from his tackle.
We haven't seen Backus's arm yet, besides kind of flinging a little bit here, flinging a little bit there. We haven't seen what he's able to do downfield as we're at 3rd down and 1, which is another opportunity. Again, if you're guessing, maybe Backus up the middle.
Yep, I would say out of an empty set backfield, Backus is definitely a great option, but they run quads here to the near side of the field.
Well, there's
and
our
he
favorite
bangs
right
forward.
There. Our favorite thing, I don't know that he was set.
He is not set for a full second, and it continues to baffle me. I'm almost speechless, and that doesn't happen often. But when he pulls forward and goes under center, he needs to be set for a second, and he is not. And he continues to get away with that.
Well, until they call it.
Well, I know it got called in the scrimmage.
Did you have an inside source there?
I was white hat in the scrimmage, and I told Coach that that's what needed to be, and he said they didn't call it all last year. I said that doesn't make it right.
Yeah.
1st and 10 once again for Midland Dow as they bring motion to the slot. Backus hands that ball off to number 32 on the play, and Landon Miller just gets rocked. As he might not have got back to the line of scrimmage. He's going to lose a yard on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 11 from the 40-yard line. So the Western defense really converged well on that tackle.
Speaking of Cason Frost, it looked like Frost was having a WWE tryout out there. He picked him up and slammed him down to the ground. Hey, you know what? All's fair in the game of love and war, right?
Yep, he certainly is within his realm to do that as long as he doesn't do a WWE body slam over the shoulder bringing him down to the ground. That might get him 15. 2nd down and 11, Midland Dow. Backus back to pass. He rolls. He's got a wide open receiver. Just kind of sets down in a crease between the linebackers and the defensive backs. I wouldn't say a great pass from Backus, but it was a great read and a great decision, and it was a catchable ball. No yards after the catch, but it's going to make for a 3rd and 1 again, which is a resounding theme on this drive.
Well, it looks like they're going to pull the chains out, get a little inspection of the ball. What's your take on it there, Mr. Doan?
Really, really hard to get a take on this from where they've got the ball. I'm going to say spot of the stripe of the football short.
We'll find out how. What are you, 1 for 2 this year?
Yep, 2 for 3, and now 3 for 4. They are going to give him the first down, so I'm back to 50%.
You were so close.
Oh, right by there was not even a credit card going in between those two things.
Well,
but I will tell you what, that measurement is a break for the Western defense. Gives them about an extra 30, 40 seconds to get a little blow.
Yeah, the officials now signaling the clock to go. 7:30 and rolling here in quarter number 1 at the Cornfield, home of Bay City Western.
Very methodical drive in this opening drive for the Midland Dow Chargers.
We talked about ball control. We talked about time management, game clock management, all the management aspects of the game. Midland Dow on this first drive is running everything to perfection. Short passes, trying to get to the outside, mixing it up. Here's another pitch to Miller.
Miller gets to the outside, and You've got to watch as a head linesman. That's almost a forward lateral on that pass.
He's getting there, isn't he?
Yep, and that is almost straight lateral. So you got to be careful. You know, if that is a forward lateral and it's dropped, does that now become an incomplete pass?
Well, hopefully he's going to be on top of it better than us. But yes, it would be an incomplete pass for all things considered.
You passed the test, Grasshopper. 2nd down and 11. Again, they found themselves in 2nd and long quite often tonight. This is a play that they've had some success getting chunk yardage.
Yeah, but again, it's just throwing the ball out quick.
Baker's trying to get up the middle, and he picks up yardage forward. Looked like number 55 for Western, Ethan Spencer, was struggling to get away from the block on the offensive line of scrimmage. And I would say Baker's got about half of what he needed, bringing up a 3rd down and a long 5-yard-to-go situation.
Well, they've chewed up all 6 minutes so far here in quarter number 1. 3rd down and 5. Again, look for a quick pass or maybe just another pitch.
Well, I think they're in 4-down territory, so I think their playbook's wide open. Trying to draw Western offside. Bakis with the hard count. Looks back over for confirmation. Still not the 10 seconds, as just now the back judge goes up with his hand. Bakis looks over the defense. Western looks like it's coming with pressure. Pass on the outside. Looks like it's complete. Looks like Zach Parker out there with the catch. And the Western defense hits him immediately, but it's going to be right at the 1st down marker again. They're going to move the sticks. Another 1st and 10 for the Midland Dow Chargers.
Connor Nickel had the tackle there for the Warriors, just a split second late. That's a pretty big task out there for Mr. Nickel.
Well, and he knows Parker's speed, too. Boy, it's really amazing how this Dow Charger team is stretching out the Western defense. As Bakis goes forward, and you know what? Not only does he not get much, he ends up with about 800 pounds of Warrior on him. And I think he tried to do that thinking he was going to get through the front 7 before they reacted. And again, 2nd down and long for the Midland Dow Chargers here as we're tickling 5 minutes left in a scoreless first quarter.
Every time we mention getting Midland Dow into 2nd and long, but again, at this situation right here, they got a good field goal kicker, so they're already in technically scoring range, but they're thinking 6. But every time we talk about getting him in there, Bakis makes a play. Find somebody.
Yep, his 2nd and long has been very proficient on this drive. Single back coming on a jet sweep to the near side of the field. Not really there in the corner, but doing a great job of cutting back in. Drew Yiter picks up enough yardage to pick up a 1st down. Looked like Western had that pretty well defended, and Yiter just cut up field and got away from the contain.
I think that's 3 times on this drive, on this opening drive for the Chargers, where I thought Western made the right decision, had the right defense called. Unfortunately, unfortunately for Western's defense, Dow's just making the right read, making the right cut, making the right play, and getting 7, getting 8, getting 9 yards on it, as it's now 1st and goal just inside the 10-yard line.
As you look down this roster for the Dow Chargers, and they have got a little bit less numbers than they've had in the past, but a very talented football team as we're almost to the 4-minute mark here of our first quarter. Bakis with Miller as the single back. Yiter in motion. And they give that ball to Yiter, and Yiter's going nowhere as Western has seen that once before. And shooting into the backfield. Oh, what does that look like it might be? Mr. Frost.
Hey, there you go.
Great read that time as Frost shut that play down and made a great sure tackle in the open field.
He's not going to miss tackles. He's not. Once he gets you in his grasp, there's a good chance that you're not going anywhere else. And that was one of those situations. But let's go back to the start of that play. It was a high snap, threw the timing of the handoff off, and gave Kaysen, who's got great speed and great instinct on the football field, that much more time to get himself in the backfield.
Used great gap integrity to stay home and fill his spot. Second down and long. Backus is going to wing that ball back to the middle, and he's tackled by his own player, but we are going to have a penalty flag, which is almost every time going to be roughing the passer.
Yes, Methodical got in there, and it was a fake going out to Yider to the wing, and then he came back to Miller there over the middle, or excuse me, Parker over the middle. Parker got tripped up by his own guy, and Methodical just finished the tackle. Unfortunately, the ball had been released a little too long for the referee's liking.
You're going to get one step, and if you've got one step, you can hit the quarterback, but you cannot clean up on the quarterback. And the referee, Jason, has one job, and that is to protect the quarterback, and they watch the quarterback. They don't watch the flow of the ball. Your job is to watch the quarterback and make certain that nothing bad happens to him. So that's a play that should be missed 0% of the time by the officiating crew.
So it's going to go first goal. So they're going to get the automatic first down. It was at the 15, so they marked it off to the 7.5. So they're going to call it first and goal from the 8.
He's got to pick up his hanky back here before they can get going. But roughing is the only thing that brings an automatic first down. Nothing else anymore other than roughing the passer and roughing the kicker. Those are the times that you get an automatic first down.
We're going to have a quick officials timeout trying to figure something out.
Were they not on the 8? Shouldn't they be at the 4?
They were, no, because he got the Frost tackled them for the loss.
There was the loss. You're right.
I didn't realize that they took him back to the 14 until they marked him off to the 7.5 there.
So again, a fresh set of downs for Midland. Down really a break as Western had him in 3rd and goal from behind the 10. Backus trying to cut to the outside, cuts back to the middle. 2 arm tackles later that he breaks. He's into the end zone. It's a Midland down. Charger touchdown.
Well, we came into the game not sure what to expect with Backus as far as him running, but on this first possession, first offensive possession for the Chargers, he really commanded every aspect of that drive.
Other than a few yards by Miller, everything else was Backus driven, whether he was passing or running.
Right, exactly. And he maintained great control, and now they're going to try the point after.
That is going to be number 32, Landon Miller. He does it all out there. Oh, there's a bad snap, and they're going to try and throw that thing out to no man's land. That could be a big point in the game, so remember that for the future. The extra point is no good. Time out of the field with 2:59 with a 9-minute drive in the first quarter. Western going to get their hands on the ball for the first time. Back in a moment on BCTV.
Is your pain holding you back from things you enjoy, like playing with your grandchildren or participating in a sport? At Collier Chiropractic, we specialize in neck pain, back pain, headaches, or sciatica that won't go away. If you've tried chiropractic, you've tried physical therapy, you've gone to your medical doctor with no results, or you take medication and it doesn't even touch your pain, then put this number in your phone, give us a call, see how we're different at Collier Chiropractic Bay City.
Back here on BCTV as the Western Warriors, the defense gave up a 9-minute and 1-second drive to start the ball game out. If you're Midland Dow, you got to be smiling.
75 yards on the drive, so they took up a chunk of change. But the biggest thing for Midland Dow, not just scoring and finishing it with a score, is they kept the player named Aiden Robinson, who has been the dynamic runner for the Warriors, off of the field.
As that ball goes down, it'll roll into the end zone. The Warriors are going to get the ball at the 20-yard line as Elza with a big leg in the kick. And right back to the 20-yard lines. We're going to get a chance to see the Western Warrior offense to see if they're capable of an answer here on this first drive.
Those two guys back, Ogosh and Robinson, on the kickoff return for Western. They are the two primary guys. They've got the most carries, most touches so far this season for the Warriors. They've got 66 between of them. Now Robinson has 55 of them, but Ogosh does get his fair share of touches.
Boy, downfield, wide open at the 40, the 50, trying to get away from a defender, which is Backus, cuts to the open field. One man to beat, 30, 25, 20, 15, down to the 11-yard line. What an incredible job by Lucas Julian as he flies away from the, nope, that was Frost, yes. Excuse me.
As we just talked about figuring out a way to get him involved, and why not sneak him out and let him catch it on the fly and let him do what he does best, make things happen.
Boy, talk about your defensive backs peeking into the backfield, certain that there was going to be a run. And that happened a few times last year with a young man named Randall that for a while during the season, he was averaging 40 yards a reception.
Well, we have a flag on the play. I'm not sure what he's... It's a first down. They're going to mark it off. They still got the flag on the ground. So
okay.
Somebody will grab it.
Well, it's going against Midland Dow. I did not see the signal from the official. Way back here at the 32. The head linesman's got to go way back.
Where the play was. Whatever happened over there, everything was right here from the 30 all the way down.
I'm almost thinking it was an illegal participation. I think they must have had 12 on the field, not caught before the snap. And, boy, the head linesman's coming down going, oh, boy, that is a lot of running for me. I'm going to have to catch my breath. I hope Western has a run play here.
Well, we talked about time management, and Western in the first play goes for about 65.
Here it looks like there's something special coming around the corner. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, into the end zone with the answer, number 17. Hayden Robinson, a Western Warrior touchdown.
You know, the only people that are upset with that is the defense.
Yeah, because that was only
17 seconds.
Yeah. Went from 2:59 to 2:35. The abacus says 24-second drive. Oh, boy. But I think the defense will take it.
Yeah, I think they're going to come out maybe a little charged up. We talked about the enthusiasm, the adrenaline, all the rush that was going to be partaking with everything that happened in the pregame.
Jackson Clark on the hold, and Midland set to kick the extra point. It's up, it's plenty long, it's through the uprights, and it's good. Timeout on the field with a blink. 2:35 left in the first. It's Western 7, Midland Dow 6. Back in a moment on BCTV. Inside, outside, or even in your home, there are lots of ways to enjoy amazing food from Bay City Bills. Our dining room is ready for you, and so is our new outdoor seating, and we are ready for you with takeout too. Stop in to Bay City Bills at 1215 Michigan Avenue, or find us on Facebook or at www.baycitybills.com to see our full menu. Wow! We expected Jason Newsham that we were going to have a good game, and 9:01 on the drive for Midland Dow. Western says, I don't even need a half minute to give you an answer. 7-6, the big extra point, the difference in this game.
Well, let's see what they're going to do on this kickoff. We know that obviously Parker has the opportunity, the ability to bring it back, and that's probably the smart play right there. Kick it to the up man. Now just.
And again, he's up to the 41-yard line before he's blasted.
Midland, you got to love when the kicker comes in.
Kicker comes in, he goes, oh boy, I got a shot and I'm going to take it.
Shoulder block him down, that's one way to do it.
Well, he was out on the field for a minute, hoping he was going to be able to show coach, yeah, with that hit, keep me on the field, and he's going to stay.
He's been covering the receiver here on our near side so far the first quarter with 2:28 left. We'll see what Midland Dow does to answer the quick score by the Warriors.
So time of possession in the first quarter is going to be a tad bit deceiving.
It will be, and just same thing with the scoreboard. It is what it is, right? That's why we play the game, and we play all of it.
What's on the scoreboard at the end is the only thing that matters, not the stats for sure. Miller is the single back. Backus with a high snap, timing of that play off. Again, Miller tries to go to the outside. He is rocked at the line of scrimmage by the Western defense.
I think the snap, that's a couple times.
Kickoff.
A couple times even on the first drive, the snap being a little high. We sit here and watch it, but it throws the whole thing off. Getting the handoff down, your running back now starts off in a sprint. Now he has to slow down, and of course the defense is just pinning their ears back, saying, "No, keep it high, keep it high."
Well, and you're only talking about a third of a second, but that's the difference between getting through the hole and having it close.
Right. And the other thing is Backus is 6'5". How is that ball going high? Last week we had a 5'9" quarterback in Coquillard, and every snap got to him.
Yep. Motion coming to the near side of the field, trying the jet sweep. Perfect defense that time by Connor Nickel. Connor Nickel shed his block. Miller was out here trying to block, and all of a sudden, boom, Nickel comes around. and makes a sure tackle. So, what are you seeing from the first two plays, Jason? Great adjustment by the Western defense.
Absolutely. Coach Willett had, 24 seconds to talk to him. So whatever he said to him was pretty inspirational. They came out right now, and they are playing like their hair is on fire. I don't have any, so I'm not used to saying that.
Yep.
Yes, their hair is on fire.
Hairs, yep.
Hairs. I got a hair. If I get a hair.
So what they do is they are bringing in their spread package offensively, and it's up to the front four to get pressure because the linebackers, I don't believe, are going to blitz a whole lot. And with that being said, they look like they're coming with 6. As Backus is trying to get rid of that ball, he throws it away to the outside as the Western pressure in the form of number 1. Merrithew gets there again on time this time. And that is going to be a 3 and out for the Midland Dow Charger offense. Kudos to that Western defense on the second drive.
Absolutely, and Backus held on to it for a split second, gave Merrithew just enough time to keep that pressure on him. And, when you're a quarterback, you start hearing some footsteps back there, it's okay to throw it away, which is a great decision there by Backus.
And they're lined up like they're going to go for it, but I am certain he is going to try a quick kick.
A little step back. Have him take about 3 steps back. Yep. Another high snap.
Miller's going to get that ball up, but that's a terrible kick. Western's saying, get away from that. Boy, they're lucky. They got a good roll of about 8 yards, and that's going to go down to the 32-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Western Warriors. That kick travels only about 28 yards.
Well, it does, but it probably landed, got about another 8 yards, 9 yards on the roll, but not having your punt return back there, you're playing what they're showing you, so you got to play your defense accordingly. But 31 seconds left here in the first quarter.
Now we're going to see how the Midland Dow Charger defense reacts to the fact that it looks like they're going to go deep again to Frost. Frost gets behind the defender. Oh, in and out of the hands of Frost is back there defensively. Zach Parker jumped up and just took Parker's concentration. He catches that, and I don't believe anybody catches it.
No, and you get a chance at an interception, and I don't know if, the little deflection there through Kaysen's
not certain it even got touched, but I know it blocked his field of vision.
Just a little bit.
We'll see now what they do now on 2nd and 10. They're coming on a sweep this way, and they've got a group in front of them. Heading down the field, splitting the defenders. Going down is number 17 into the end zone. Aiden Robinson, Western Warrior, touchdown. 2 quickies in 1 quarter. Robinson, boy, he showed a burst.
I thought Dow was stringing him out just right, and all of a sudden it's a gap. He finds the one seam, and he knows when to turn it up. He turns it up, and then goodbye.
Well, the Midland Dow Charger defense did what Western's defense has done a couple of times in this game. They have got contain on the outside, but as he finds that seam and cuts forward, there's nobody home, and he just outran the rest of the defense. Malin with the extra point. It's up. It's plenty long, and oh boy, it's good. Time out of the field with 14.4 ticks left and a wild first quarter. Back in a moment on BCTV.
For over 75 years, Frank's Great Outdoors has served as the Great Lakes Bay region's premier hunting, fishing, and outdoor shopping destination. What started in the mid-1940s as a roadside bait and tackle stand has now blossomed into a 30,000 square foot outdoorsman's dream shopping location. Stop by the store located at 1212 North Huron Road in Linwood, or shop online at franksgreatoutdoors.com to find everything you need to get your next outdoor adventure started.
Wow factor as we come back here at BCTV. Jeff Doan and Jason Newsham. Glad to have you along tonight with Nick Page under the watchful eye of Jared Doan spotting for us tonight. So great night for football as the Western Warriors say, yeah, we got that ball control offense. We're putting that in our back pocket tonight. We've got the quick strike offense. That ball's going to go out of bounds, and the flags go down. So now they're going to have the option whether it goes out of bounds, where it's at. They can take it at the 35, or we'll have a re-kick. And I think that Dow says we're going to take it at the 35. They're talking to Coach Peterson right now about that, though. And see, yep, looks by all indications like they're going to take it at the 35.
I always look for the quarterback to come out. I figure once we see him coming out, then we're pretty sure that they're going to run the offense onto the field.
And in theory, this probably will be the last play of the first quarter.
Well, it was a wild first quarter. We predicted very wrongly about how both teams were going to be all about managing the clock and running the clock, and Western's quick strike ability really limits on what their game management
And that's just Coach Willard saying, Jeff Doan, you've been around this game forever. Don't try and outthink me. You can't do it. Another great play by the Western defense, as coming up looked like O'Laughlin on that initial hit defensively. And that is going to bring us to the end of our first quarter of play. At the end of one, Midland down with 10 minutes of time of possession in the first half, less than 2 for the Western Warriors, but the Warriors on top 14-6. Back in a moment for the second quarter on BCTV.
Thinking about high-quality education with highly qualified teachers and a wide variety of quality programs? Look no further than Bay City Public Schools.
There's wonderful teachers, wonderful educators, administrators. It's a great place to go to school.
We include everybody, and we have a very diverse student base.
At Bay City Public Schools, the teachers are truly there to see the students succeed.
Bay City Public Schools, exceptional opportunities for all. Call us to enroll today, 989-686-9700.
Good evening and welcome back. I'd like to take an opportunity to thank our sponsors, Covenant Healthcare, Bay City Bills, Village Towing, Frank's Great Outdoors, Collier Chiropractic, and the Bay City Public Schools. Dr. Steve Bigelow, our superintendent of schools, even in the house tonight, enjoying a great first quarter.
Absolutely taking advantage of this great homecoming crowd on this whiteout night here. As another, that's the ball's on the ground.
And again, are they thinking about passing it? And a missed tackle by the Western defense, trying to come forward again. There'll be about a 5-yard loss on that play, but oh boy.
Ran about 30.
Connor Nichols said, I had him dead to rights, but a nice juke move by the offense made that happen. But again, Jason, a high errant snap throws the timing of the play off.
Everything went off, but you wonder if he was just going to pick it up and then wing it out of bounds, just try to get an incomplete pass so we wouldn't lose yardage on it. And at the point of trying to make that pass, boy, the Western defense was, woo, I got you here, I got you there, you want to run the other way?
Well, and what's amazing too, Jason, is when you take 9:01 on the first drive and your next 5 plays don't even get you positive yardage, that tells you that the Western defense is making the necessary adjustment.
They made the correct adjustment, and more importantly, as we get a timeout here by the Dow Chargers.
We'll take a quick break and be back in a moment on BCTV.
You treat your family with extraordinary care every day, which is why when it comes to their health, more of you choose Covenant Healthcare. We specialize in extraordinary care, from diagnosis to recovery, from babies to grandparents. Learn more about our extraordinary bariatrics program. Sign up for our free seminar.
Back here on Bay County TV, Jeff Doan, Jason Newsham, along with Nick Page, our producer, director, and photographer tonight, as Jared Doan is spotting for us. We're looking at Chris Willard's 5th year with the program. Safe to say that he's already left a great footprint with this program.
He is leaving a mark, and it's one that he wants to continually build on year after year, which I think is a great thing, having a coach that is committed to being here, that wants to be here, and now has players buying into staying and being on the field.
Well, and you got 40 kids on your roster. Bake is trying to throw that ball deep. What an absolutely perfectly thrown ball to Parker on the pass. You cannot, as a high school quarterback, throw a better pass than that.
No, and that was something that we talked about earlier. He hasn't had to throw downfield at this point. That was the first time he was able to show off his touch, his arm, and not a better time than it was at 3rd and 14 there to showcase it.
Well, and when people said, he's going to Coastal Carolina, but he's going for baseball, again, you talked about that football program, and it's great. As Miller tries to come up, he's tripped up, but he regains his balance, and he's going to pick up about 7 on the play before he's brought down defensively by the Western Warriors, and that's Lucas Julian. Oh, it was Forrester.
Yeah.
All right. The safety converted from quarterback. These numbers from Western, and then next year, we're not going to have to worry about. These are all going to be big block letters that are going to be super easy to read, and you know, these old peeps don't pick up those skinny numbers like you used to.
1, 3, 4, 2. They're all about the same slender build. So, Miller coming back up.
Miller again has got a crease. He's coming back down the sidelines, and he's tripped up and going to be knocked out of bounds inside the 5 at the 3. What a great run again by Miller. Very well blocked out at the point of attack. Look who's out in front of that play. Caden Fox, number 50, way downfield, putting a big block on to get him out.
Yeah, you got to kick him out a little bit. It was a nice play, well executed. So they had a couple of opportunities there. Now it's 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. Looking to answer the Aiden Robinson quick score.
Yeah, and different packages for different situations. Maybe a little more jumbo package coming in on 1st and goal from the 3.
I still don't know from a defensive standpoint if you could have played that pass any better than what Backus was able to throw. That was almost just better offense beats better defense.
And there's going to be a timeout, and they signaled Midland down. I believe it's Western that called the timeout. Yes, it did. We'll take a break and be back in a moment on BCTV.
It's another fall Friday night, and your kids should be
playing high school football. It's a fun game, and it's safer than ever. It's safe because the rules, the coaching, and the equipment are better than ever before.
As a result, serious injuries are at an all-time low. Seriously.
And builds strong schools, lifetime memories, and tomorrow's community leaders.
And it's mother approved.
It's a great game, and we want to teach it to your kids.
Back here on BCTV as we look at the whiteout. No, we're not in Penn State. We're in the cornfield. What an absolutely jam-packed house here for homecoming tonight, Jason.
I don't know that you could have asked for a better crowd. Great weather. Everyone's coming out, enjoying themselves. They're still wearing tank tops and cut-off shirts and just enjoying this last, hopefully not the last of it, but the last of this beautiful days on Friday night.
This could be the last one like that. Again, Backus throwing to the outside. He's got a little slot to the inside again. They use that flanker screen into the end zone. It's a Midland Dow Charger touchdown.
Well, after missing the first extra point, when it wasn't a miss necessarily, but the bobble and then the subsequent incomplete pass, are they going to stay on the field? Looks like they're going to try and go for 2 to even the score here.
Boy, and I got to believe this is it playing into Western's hands. I think Western gets a stop here, and they gain 2 points, not just 1 after both misses. Watch for Backus to do the quarterback sneaky, and that ball goes in and out of the hands. And now this is behind the line of scrimmage. And again, what is the chief job of the referee in this football game?
The quarterback.
Protect the quarterback. Do you go from the quarterback to follow the flight of the ball on that short a pass and make the call when you have got other people that are supposed to be keying on that? I just don't like that call. I'm not saying it's the wrong call. I'm saying that I don't like the person that made that call.
You know, we talk about it specifically in the basketball standpoint of understanding your job
your
as an official. Correct. And you talk about responsibility integrity, because what happens to those officials when you start making calls in their area?
Again, comes forward, never set, goes into the end zone. I'm just baffled that, and they haven't ruled that he's in yet, but he never gets set. He comes up and he goes right forward. I don't know.
Frustrating. It's frustrating, and not that we're cheering for Western or we're not or cheering against stuff. It's just frustrating because we know the rules.
So we're going to take a break as we try and figure out what's going on here, but we were all knotted up at 14 with 10:06 left in the half.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always
outweigh the negativities.
Back here on Bay County TV, I'm still shaking my head here. I look like a sideways bobblehead. I just do not understand how you can move forward like that, not be set, snap the ball, go, move forward without that being a flag.
No, it's definitely a perplexing, and we talked about it last year as this one's going to be grounded over to Braylon Ogosh. Picks it up at around the 8.
He has got nobody back there, but once he breaks through, he's only got one man to beat, and at the 40-yard line, looks like the kicker makes a touchdown. Saving tackle is the last line of defense. Elba, the kicker, with that last-ditch effort to...
Didn't look like he had much at all.
No, he had a burst of speed up the far sideline and had a tremendous return. In fact, Elba actually had somebody trying to block him. So, maybe you cut in instead of out, but that's still a nice return to get the ball back at the 38-yard line. 1st and 10 Western.
You zig instead of zag.
Trying to bring that ball right up the middle, and that is definitely a crowded area on the field on that play on 1st down. Number 67 is going to end up having to go off the field, as it might be 57 off, and Austin Benchley lost his helmet. So Western with a 2nd down and 9-yard to go situation. They've had success to the outside. Now they try and go up the middle, and the Dow Chargers definitely shut that down. Got a deep post plaid pattern down the middle. What a great catch by Ben Kohaney. Haney Kohaney. Beautiful job, though, that time. Robinson put it right on the dot, and defensive back still down.
Well, he was getting interfered with, I believe is going to be the call here. Might have got there a tad short. But I tell you what, the way that he was running, it was almost like the defender had to go through him to try to get the defense. I think Parker down.
They're looking at his knee right now, so he may have twisted that knee in some form. I can't tell who it is right now. I'm looking at it. It might be Zach Parker, number 8, but we'll take a break and be back in a moment, and we'll have the answers on BCTV.
For over 75 years, Frank's Great Outdoors has served as the Great Lakes Bay region's premier hunting, fishing, and outdoor shopping destination. What started in the mid-1940s as a roadside bait and tackle stand has now blossomed into a 30,000 square foot outdoorsman's dream shopping location. Stop by the store located at 1212 North Huron Road in Linwood, or shop online at franksgreatoutdoors.com to find everything you need to get your next outdoor adventure started.
Back here on Bay County TV, as the pass interference defensively, obviously that 15-yard penalty was less than the reception of 18, so they're going to take the result of the play and move the sticks. 1st and 10 for the Western Warriors. Western coming out flinging it a little bit. The defensive backs for Dow are doing a little peekaboo in the backfield.
Well, we talked about the running aspect of it.
Robinson coming downfield's got another wide open receiver on the play. That's number 8, Ben Kahane, and Kahane is into the end zone. Is that number 8 or is that Gimme who we got here, brother?
No, we got Kohaney.
Okay.
Pass from Clark, Jackson Clark.
Oh, so Clark slipped in. You're pointing to me here, and you got your finger covers 4 spots. We know it's a Western Warrior touchdown.
You call my fingers fast? My fingers weren't thinking nearly as fast as my head was thinking.
So they snuck Clark in as just a great pass again, and the defensive backs are allowing the Western offense to get inside as the extra point is up, and it's good. How about the Western Warriors showing you the attack through the air as well as on the ground with 9:11 left in the first half, 21-14. Back in a moment on BCTV.
Village Towing and Auto Repair of Kaukaulin and Bay City is here to help you in your hour of need with fast and friendly service. With over 30 years of towing experience, we know how to get the job done quickly and safely. From big to small, we do it all. Give us a call at 989-684-9607 for all your towing needs.
Back here at BCTV, we'll get our numbers straight here. We got to give Clark credit where it's due on that great pass. And again, we talked about the injury, and where did they attack, Jason?
Right at Parker, right where he was just guard. He just had Kohaney. He was the pass interference on Kohaney that led to the errant injury there. We don't know if he's going to make it back on. It looks like
he's back, but I'll tell you what, he does not look like he's under 100%. He's got just a little tiny giddy up in his step right now, and I'm sure he's confident that he's going to be able to run that off. But, you know, when you go from 4.5 speed to 4.65 speed because you got a little hitch in your giddy up.
Even we can catch him.
We might have a chance to catch him. You can. You got long reach.
You just catch him for me.
I'd be huffing and puffing. First and 10 for the the Dow Chargers.
Wow, I tell you what, we talked about, I thought this might be our final score. I thought it was going to be a 21-20. We're at 21-14 with 9:04 left with some very methodical offensive possessions for Dow and some very, very quick strike capabilities for the Warriors.
Again, the ball carrier for the Dow Chargers finally gets hit by number 4, Jason Frost, but not before he's about 5 yards downfield.
Yeah, it was a nice, it's, again, I think the defense for Western is in the right spot, but Miller's making a lot of really, really quick, Barry Sanders-like, and all of a sudden, he was there, whoop, now he's gone.
6-yard gain on the play, so it'll be 2nd down and 4 yards to go, but Frost has shown the ability to be a very sure tackler in this first half in the open field.
He doesn't let you go. He wraps you up, and he makes sure he finishes it all the way through the whistle. This is different for Dow. They're normally in 2nd and 9. Down there in 2nd and 4.
Yeah, I don't think they got a play. They don't have a play for this.
Give it to Miller.
Hand off again. The edge is opened, and Miller comes to the 45-yard line before he's brought down by the Western Warriors. Mr. Ben again.
Tell you what, we both know the difference between you being on top of the runner or the runner being on top of you. That means Miller was coming with a full head of steam, and Kohaney just buckled down, made the tackle, ended up getting ran over, but stopped him there at the 44.
Yep. And, Miller on the last couple of runs has been able to get outside the contain of those DNs for the Western Warriors and been able to find a little green grass.
Well, the first quarter there, they really did a lot of
Backus with the throw deep, and again, it's another perfect throw inside the 10-yard line. Is that Parker down there? He fights to the 1-yard line. Yeah, it is Parker. So that little hitch he had in his giddy up is all better. Again, how about the second time you have seen the touch on the deep ball? Absolutely perfect from Backus, this time to Parker.
Well, better offense beats better defense in this situation. The pass was perfect. The defense was perfect. You just put it to the one spot where your guy can catch it. And he's very sure-handed, one of the best in the valley. So who do you want to get the ball to? There's nobody happier to see him back on the field right now than Backus.
Yep, and he's got man coverage on the outside right now. They're down to 5 seconds, so Backus has got to get this off. As he gets it off with 1 second left, handoff up the middle. That looks like number 21, Streeter. Streeter gets into the end zone. It's a Midland Dow Charger touchdown.
We're going to be in an old-fashioned Auburn shootout tonight.
There's going to be a whole lot of corn popped out here tonight.
Woo!
As it looks like they're going to tempt the extra point.
I think
seeing if they can tie it.
On that first possession, the long possession that Dow had, they did a lot of pitch outs and try to get outside. They're finding a lot more success running through the gaps.
Well, and again, once you get the defense looking for those, and then Backus throws that perfect pass. There's a low snap. It got up, and it goes through the uprights barely. But time out of the field with 7:39 left in the first half. We're all knotted up at 21. Back in a moment on BCTV.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
Back here on Bay County TV, as we just talked here at the break, Jeff Doan and Jason Newsham, as we see this game as being potentially a high scoring, I don't believe with 7:39 in the first half that we would have seen 42 points scored.
No, this is a little shocking, coming out here tonight. I kept trying to figure out where Midland Dow was at, what Western was at, and I was expecting, again, 21-20, 28-20. I felt it was going to be a close game. This is beyond my expectations, but I tell you what, we're seeing some fireworks here tonight on homecoming.
Elga to kick off. Oh gosh, deep to return. Let's see if they try and go to the wide side of the field. No, they're going to kick it to him and see if they can outflank the return. And doing a great job on kick coverage as Ogosh gets back to about the 26-yard line. At that point, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Western Warriors. And that quick strike offense coming back on the field.
Robinson's got 2 touches, 2 touchdowns. Clark's back there. He's got 3 completions. Started off the game with a completion to Frost. He had 2 passes to Kohaney. 1 went for the touchdown. They really are keeping that Midland Dow defense trying to figure out what's going on out there.
Coming to the near side of the field, looks like Dow's got this one a little bit better taken care of as the ball carried by number 17, Robinson. Aiden picks up a few yards on the play, gets out just about the 30-yard line, maybe just shy. So they're going to give him a couple of yards on the play, 2nd down and 8 yards to go. But again, you have to run that play, even if you're only getting 2 or 3 yards, because you're going to force the defense to do a lot of running, and you're going to make them respect that so you can maybe pop one up the middle or the other way.
Right, and the way that Clark has been on target with his passing, and that defense is obviously keeping their eyes on Robinson because they've already seen his speed twice. And even though he was taken for a short gain that time,
there's that little counter play coming back the other way.
Oh, gosh.
Just losing his footing was Ogosh. The defense was actually there pretty well to make sure that wasn't a big gain. But, again, you got 3rd down and 4 yards to go. You're in a real manageable 3rd down situation for the Western offense.
And you've got guys in your backfield that are averaging 5-6 yards a carry. So, again, numbers tell you that if you can get manageable 3rd down and shorts, 4th down and shorts, that you've got the right personnel back there to get you those extra yards.
Clark again out of the short shotgun. He's back to pass. A 2-man route, and they throw to the deeper of the 2. And he comes up with a shoestring tackle on the play. It looks like Kohaney again.
Yeah, Kohaney out there. He's running his routes. He's getting everything done. And that one was one of those that you're going to watch on film, and you're going to throw the red challenge flag if you're Midland Dow on that one. But thank God there's no red flags to be challenged, and we're going to call it a catch.
How about Clark again with another ball that's completed tonight? So his accuracy has been very, very good. But I'd say Kohaney with a really nice catch there.
I think you're going to give your pass completion there to your receiver. Frost here in front of us lined up outside. We know what he does with his speed.
Trying to go up the middle, and again, that's a run that you've got to do, and they pick up about 2 yards to the 46-yard line. I think Western's going to be a little bit more in tune on this drive, trying to keep that Dow Charger offense off the field for as much of the rest of the first half as they can.
Not a bad idea. They know they're getting the ball to start the 2nd half, so chew some clock, put a score on the board before halftime, and then come back out after halftime after the elongated halftime with the festivities.
Here's the counter play, and that's a much better run. Oh, gosh, turns the corner. 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. Down to the 16-yard line before a touchdown-saving tackle by Backus.
Yeah, I tell you what, Backus was trying to rip his arm off, too, trying to get that ball out. Much better execution there. Nobody on this side for the Dow defense, and all of a sudden, Ogosh was like, oh, give me some green, baby. Give me some green.
Point of attack, superb job sealing off the defensive end and the linebacker and allowing Ogosh to just turn the corner. And boy, he looked upfield, and for about 25 yards, he had nothing but green grass.
And nobody except the big 6'5", 210-pound man running behind him.
They're going to do with that counter play again. They might as well go with what's working down inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line. They're going to call it the 9, but a great gain of about 7 on 1st down. And hey, until they can show they can stop it, keep handing it off.
But you also got Joey DeCuff getting some action there as Ogosh took a break. So, again, getting fresh bodies, fresh legs out there. we just talked about maybe taking some time off and trying to get a score. They you know what? We got to quit out coaching these coaches. We got to let them do their jobs. Just score.
I stopped trying to figure that out years ago because I found out I was almost always wrong. There's that counter again. Deacup cuts to the inside with a great move. He's into the end zone. It's another Western Warrior touchdown.
I'll tell you what a block. Number 58, Peyton McNeese. He just finished his block and about 7 yards out of bounds, and that Dow Charger guy got up and said, where am I? Where am I?
That was the kick out block that was finished. You're exactly right. He wanted to make sure he made a statement on the finish to that block, and the whistle hadn't blown yet, and he put a statement on it. As Maitland's going to attempt the extra point, a little bit high in the snap. The kick is up. Did that just barely get through? It's good. Time out of the field with 4:43 left, and a defensive struggle here in the first half. Western 28 and Midland Dow 21. We'll be back in a moment on BCTV.
Over the years, he's put his heart into being your dad. He was always there to fix things. Now that he needs help, don't lose hope. Covenant Center for the Heart is leading the way in minimally invasive heart options for inoperable or high-risk patients, with the first and most comprehensive structural heart disease program in the Great Lakes Bay region. It's extraordinary heart care, close to home.
Back here on Bay County TV as we have seen an explosive offense from both teams so far in this first half, Jason.
But they've both showed the capabilities of some ground control, too. I mean, but the thing is you're not going to turn away that Braylon Ogosh 30-yard run for some clock time. You know, they're just making a lot of really, really good plays. That one gets
ball's picked up. He isn't going to get back to the 40 this time. He says, "You were wrong again, Mr. Doan," out to the 43-yard line. Boy, the Warriors might want to have that one back on that kick return. They could have had him back just outside the 30-yard line. So, again, excellent starting field position for the Dow Chargers.
Well, let's see what Coach Willits can dial up quickly with this defense. You know, they're on their heels right now. Backus comes back on the field. You're giving them a short field.
Backus had to expend a lot of energy defensively on that last series, so that's going to be interesting for me to see his ability to run after he had to do a lot of running defensively on the last series.
More of a chase than a run, but either way we're looking at it. 4 minutes, 34 seconds left in this 28-21 lead for the Western Warriors. I don't want to say it's the biggest defensive possession for the Warriors defense, but it would be great if they can get off the field and give that offense one last crack at the offensive side of things.
As Backus looks over the Western defense, takes a three-step drop, throws that thing off into the wings. Parker with a catch out there, and the tackle made. It looked like Clark out there on the tackle. Kohaney out there. Again, those gold numbers on the far side of the field, very tough as Matt Fallon. He's got somebody up there sitting next to him with binocs being able to pick that up. But
making him sound like a genius.
Well, he is a genius because he's got the right people sitting next to him. 2nd down and 3 yards to go for the Midland Dow Chargers. This is probably a rundown as they try and get the ball to Miller coming around the corner. Miller picks up the first down as he is brought down on the play by number 31, Eli Malin, a penalty flag late. And a little bit of conversation.
Yeah, he was asking for it from the line judge, and it came in late from the back judge.
I'm wondering if this is a face mask.
It's a face mask. Do they do 5 and 15 at the high school level?
Yep. And it's 5er. And that is grabbing the face mask instead of the personal foul face mask. So
it's a personal foul where they get the old 15 yards.
Yep, and that would be, if you just get your hands in there and you pull it away versus tugging and twisting, there's 5 versus 15.
Well, that's an interpretation, but typically they're pretty well laid out for you the way that the violent act that is done by the defender. As Miller back up the middle.
Miller's going to pick up about 3-4 yards, and that pigskin's on the ground. I would say the Western Warriors look like they're going to be coming away with the pigskin. And the first turnover of the ball game is number 5, Granson. comes up, and Grandison says, how about that? It just fell right into my lap, and I just smothered it.
I tell you, there's a lot of confusion, and here's my confusion. I didn't see a blue bean.
I did.
Okay.
Yep.
But I didn't see an urgency out of anybody on the officiating crew to go in there to find out who had the ball.
I don't think there was anybody from Midland Dow that had an opportunity to even pull it away. I think they were pretty clear-cut that he had possession, he was down, and that blew the play dead.
Well, it's interesting. One of the things that I was just about to bring up was the turnover aspect of it. Neither one has had a turnover yet.
Clark trying to throw that ball down the middle, and the ball is picked off. As going the other way, the Midland Dow Chargers say, I'll take it right back, as that ball was just a little bit underthrown. In Jacob Jansen with the pickoff for Midland Dow.
Nice deflection.
Tip drill.
Yeah, exactly. Frost was going up. It's going to be one of those battles. You thought maybe it was going to be who was the stronger of the two, but unfortunately, rather than either being caught by the offensive player or it being taken down to the ground, it went up in the air and allowed Jensen to.
And I think with the time that play took, it allowed the second defender to get back there.
Mm-hmm.
It took a little bit of time to develop, and Clark didn't quite get as much on the throw as he wanted, but I still like the fact that Western's flinging that ball all over the field and making that defense stay honest.
Still a completion.
Just to the wrong color jersey. 1st and 10. Midland Dow, they got the counter tray going now, and the Western defense sniffed that out pretty well. As Miller, the ball carrier again, and he's going to only pick up a couple of yards on the play. One of the Western Warriors going to be coming off the field because he had his helmet knocked off. But Zach Resmer hit him so hard he knocked his own helmet off.
Well, I think what you're seeing is you're trying to get Midland Dow. Let's try to get to the outside. They had a little success early, even on a couple of the quick passes. Now they're trying to loosen up that middle. So, they're playing the odds of the offensive side. They want to try and make sure that you're not just being able to tune in and key in on one specific area.
2nd and 8 as we're at the 3-minute mark of our first half of play. Bake is back. He's got all day to throw now. Pressure comes late. He throws that thing away. Maybe tried to get that into the corner to number 10 on the play, Drew Yiter, but he was pretty much throwing that ball where only Yiter had a chance or it was going out of bounds.
Yeah, exactly. It was either going to be incomplete or no chance for an interception. So let's go back to the IQ part of Mr. Backus. Making the right reads, making the right decisions, making the right play, understanding the down and distance, knows that he can get 3rd down if he doesn't throw an interception.
Well, he's in 4-down territory right now, too, so he's got an opportunity, depending on what they do on 3 with the touch he's got on his pass. Western defense should be pretty certain they're going to go for it on 4th down. Miller coming out of the backfield. They fake there. Now they're going to pump downfield all day to throw the football. And a nice sliding catch on the play by number 8, Zach Parker again. And boy, the Western defense just could not get in on that play. They bit on the Miller fake and did not get any pressure on Backus, and he threw another strike.
No, he was in it. Again, let this guys get downfield. Let it develop. Look everybody off. Make that defense get. That's the part of being a quarterback that it's tough to get people to understand how tedious you have to be. If you're showing with your eyes one thing, you've got to be able to bring it back the other direction. And that was a great play, great pass, great route.
1st and goal at the 10-yard line. Motion coming, they're faking the jet sweep, and Backus right up the middle, breaking another couple of tackles, sniffing the goal line. He's into the end zone. It's a Midland Dow Charger touchdown with 2:22 left in the half.
Unbelievable.
Turn of events.
Woo.
You get a turnover, you give it right back, and Midland Dow makes you pay.
And it's a wash. There was still Midland Dow's possession. There's still
but there's still 2:22 and 2 timeouts left for the Western Warriors here.
Oh, plenty of time. They have shown on many occasions here in this first half what they're capable of doing with very little time.
The extra point here has been an adventure for the Midland Dow Chargers in the first half. Kick is up. This one looks easy and good. Time out on the field with 2:22 left in the first half. All knotted up at 28. Be back in a moment on Bay County TV.
Inside, outside, or even in your home, there are lots of ways to enjoy amazing food from Bay City Bills. Our dining room is ready for you, and so is our new outdoor seating. And we are ready for you with takeout too. Stop in to Bay City Bills at 1215 Michigan Avenue, or find us on Facebook or at www.baycitybills.com to see our full menu.
Back on BCTV, Jeff Doan, Jason Newsham. Glad to have you along tonight. Nick Page producing, directing, camera. Jared Doan also here in an executive position tonight.
Supervisor.
As we are under the watchful eye of the superintendent of schools, Dr. Stephen Bigelow, who's got to be loving the activities in the first half on this homecoming night out here at the cornfield. We have not been disappointed, Jason, with the first half.
I tell you what, 2:22 left. I still think we're going to end up 35-35 at halftime.
I say skip halftime, skip the homecoming. You just keep playing football. It doesn't get much better than this.
60.
Here's the kickoff. As we'll see what kind of return the Western Warriors get. And that ball is a perfectly thrown ball. It stops on the 10-yard line. What kind of return can the Western Warriors bring? They are pinned back deep. And they are going to go down at about the 14-yard line, so deep in their own end. And that was the first kickoff tonight from Midland Dow in this game that went to the open side of the deep field where Western did not have a deep return man.
Robinson made a real good decision there. He could have kept trying to zig and zag, but you want to know what? All he saw were white jerseys. So the best thing to do is, let's cut the losses. Let's go down. Let's get our offense back on the field with 2:14 left here in the first half of a very, very entertaining game.
Let's see what Western does. Coming to the near side of the field again. Not quite out of bounds as he gets hit about the 15-yard line. Did not get out of bounds. I think they're going to call him just shy of the 15-yard line, about the 13-yard line. So not a lot of real estate there on first down. And I think the Western Warriors are looking at the clock at 1:50 and going to see what they get out of second down. But the way they're flinging the ball around the field, anything can happen here in the last 2 minutes. There's the counter play again, right behind again, out of the open field. What do we got? Coming down the field. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He's into the end zone. It's a Western Warrior touchdown.
Yes, I had 35 on the board in the first half.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, gosh, when he got to the outside, cut back across the green, there was no deep coverage there, and he just ran to daylight.
I'm not sure what you're doing on the defensive side in that situation, because I didn't think for 1 second that Western was going to take a knee, not with Dow having 2 timeouts, but they have got some explosive offensive weapons out there for the Warriors.
Midland with the extra point. It's up, and it is awful good.
His leg is tired right now.
he'll put the ice bath on it after the game. Time on the field with $1:27 left in the first half. 35-28. Western jumps back out in the lead, but a lot of time left on the clock and 2 timeouts for Dow Chargers. We'll take a quick break and be back in a moment on BCTV.
Thinking about high-quality education with highly qualified teachers and a wide variety of quality programs? Look no further than Bay City Public Schools.
There's wonderful teachers, wonderful educators, administrators. It's a great place to go to school.
We include everybody, and we have a very diverse student base.
At Bay City Public Schools, the teachers are truly there to see the students succeed.
Bay City Public Schools, exceptional opportunities for all. Call us to enroll today, 989-686-9700.
Back here on BCTV. So, Jason, you're telling me there's somebody that's not quite as happy as the rest of us that they've scored 35 in the first half?
I tell you what, if I'm a gym teacher right now, boy, I'm down there critiquing as the cheerleaders doing push-ups per point.
They are going to be showing off some triceps after all this. 35 push-ups those young ladies do in the first half, and they said, I hope we do 70 before it's done. High deep end over end kick that's going to stay in bounds. Going to be picked up at the 3-yard line. Western looks like they've got him pretty well trapped. Boy, a good return back up over the 20, and kabow! Parker gets rocked at the end of the play, and amongst others in on that looked like O'Laughlin on the hit.
Prince. I tell you, he got out to the 22-yard line, and that was a very punishing 20-yard kickoff return there. But, you know, these cheerleaders and the Palms down there doing their push-ups, they got homecoming tomorrow. They're like, I'm not going to be able to pin my corsage on my date.
They're going to have somebody else take care of it for them. Like I said, we're still in the first half, brother. So, again, now with $1:21 left in our first half, 35-28. Down with Backus. We know their quick strike capabilities as Backus comes out of an empty set in the backfield with trips to the wide side, twins to the near side. Now Yiter makes it a 4-pack, and again, there's a little swing pass to the outside. Western looks like they've got that pretty well defended for about a 5-yard gain. Yiter stays in bounds, so that'll take up a chunk of time off the clock here as we are down to 1:05 and counting left in the first half.
Well, you wanted to see what they were going to do, if they were going to try and go deep strike, but you know what? An incompletion stops the clock. That was a safe pass, and to see what they could get out of it, if they were able to maybe get 20, 25 out of it, maybe it changes your offensive concepts here, but Backus is going to, you know.
It's a safe pass for Backus, but it's a lateral pass, and that's a dangerous one if it's not caught. But he's got great confidence in his throwing ability, and he is not disappointed with his arm tonight.
No, his arm is definitely proven.
They're trying a little reverse to the backside right now to try and catch Western off. It's pretty well blocked. Western trying to come back, and good pursuit to the football by Western, keeping that from being a much bigger gain as the tackle finally made by Eli Malin.
Those legs are getting a workout between his extra points and his kickoffs here in the first half, but still has enough arm energy and arm strength to tackle number 16.
But again, you've got two plays that have taken about 40 seconds off the clock, and you're down to 21 seconds left, and I think the Midland Dow Chargers are going to take a timeout, which I'm surprised they waited so long to do it. We're going to take a quick break, catch our breath, and be back in a moment on BCTV.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
All right, back here on BCTV, Jeff Doan, Jason Newsham, Nick Page, and Jared Doan with you tonight. We've had a great first half. Let's see if the Warrior defense can stand tall here late in the half with 21.3 ticks left in our first half of play as they are running quads here to the near side of the field, and the Western faithful trying to spur on that defense, and they'll come with just a 4-man rush, run a little stunt up the middle, push Backus out of the pile. Backus is going to run and get out of bounds at the 39-yard line, but takes up a big chunk of time. Again, now with 11.3 seconds left. If Dow's going to do anything, Jason, they're going to have to fling it deep.
Well, you got Frost back there, and he's all over the field. We mentioned his name quite a few times. That was the cuff on the takedown of Backus. Great read there. You know, I think the biggest thing was for the cuff is making sure of the tackle, being sure of it, and not letting Backus, you know, juke him one way and zig the other way.
Well, Western ran a great stunt up with Ethan Spencer going to the inside, and that flushed Backus, and I'm not certain on the run he's got the accuracy that he does when he plants and tosses.
Right.
And they're going to run another little bubble screen to the outside. Decuff misses the tackle, but the tackle is finally made after a gain of about 7 on the play. It's going to be right at that first down marker, but 3.3 ticks left. The Dow Chargers got to use their last timeout, or the first half's going to run out. I think they're going to use that last timeout. We'll find out and get confirmation. And I don't know. It's definitely a first down. I don't know if that's what they're looking at.
Well, this is going to give Midland Dow a little extra time because they did call the timeout as the officials are. There you go.
I didn't think there was any question that was going to be a first down.
The side judge was already, you know, pointing with the thumb, giving them, hey, let's move them, move it. So,
well,
now they call the timeout.
They give them a little extra time to design something, but they're going to have to go against 3 deep for the Western team. So we're going to take a quick break and be back in a moment on BCTV.
This is Adam, take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Back on BCTV, probably the last play of the first half, barring a penalty.
It would only be fitting if they scored.
No. It's going to be amazing. Backus is back. He's got time to fling that thing downfield, and that's going to be picked off by Frost. Will he have an opportunity to go coast to coast? Makes a couple of people miss. Cuts to the outside, back to the middle. Down at the 45-yard line.
It was an entertaining interception.
And that puts the wraps on this first half. Can't wait to come back at halftime and relive the first half, and we'll set the stage for the second half on homecoming night in the cornfield here on BCTV.
Come see the difference at Collier Chiropractic. We are a family-owned local business located in Bay City that offers innovative treatment and care for our patients. If you're in pain, stressed out, and you don't have time for that, taking care of your pain safely and naturally is what we do best. At Collier Chiropractic, we have an award-winning chiropractic and massage therapy team. We believe in delivering the best care and service to every patient. We offer same-day appointments, evenings, and Saturday morning appointments. If you've tried other chiropractic care, physical therapy, or even medication with no results, visit Collier Chiropractic.
Back at our Collier Chiropractic halftime show, Jeff Doan and Jason Dusham. You said you thought that the way the first half went, it could be 35s. I'm glad to say that you were wrong. One team got 35, but what a first half.
It was explosive, and it was explosive by different players, which gives you that opportunity to spring any one of those guys at any given moment, at any time on the field. Frost, Robinson, Clark passing the ball, Kohaney on the catches, Ogosh showing some. They have got 5 guys I just mentioned, and we're not even talking about the guys up front that are making it happen. So, yes, explosive for Western, explosive for Dow. They're able to put points back on the board. It's just, I mean, it's beyond my wildest expectations of what the score is right now.
And we've still got a half of football. But as we look at it, we thought we had this thing fairly well prognosticated in the first half.
Ooh.
We thought that maybe Midland Dow would do a little more of the quick strike and try and put points. We thought Western would methodically go down the field. Well, after a 9-minute and 1-second drive by Dow to put the first points on the board, Western answers with 2 touchdowns, totaling less than 1 minute at a time of possession.
It was, and I tell you, we talked a little bit about it, and I was thinking a little bit like you. I thought maybe Midland Dow, especially after that first possession, that was going to be their game plan. We know that they've been in close games. We know this is a close game, so this is familiar territory with them. What's not familiar is they're putting up a lot of yardage. Which is, through the air. Miller's doing a great job. They tried to get him on the outside early in the first quarter. Now they're trying to dig him in between the gaps. He's making a couple of quick moves. Had the 1 turnover, but then on the flip side of it, they were able to get the interception on the next.
This is like a chess match to me because after the first score by Midland Dow, I believe the next 2 possessions, Western's defense did a superb job of making adjustments, but then Peterson comes back with his own adjustments for Midland Dow, and it's both teams trumping what the other team's adjustments are trying to do.
Right, from the offensive standpoint, I'm interested to see, and we talk about it every week, what's going to happen defensively? What's going to happen on the defensive side of things as the adjustments? Because I thought Western made the right defensive adjustment. Then you said Peterson countered it from Dow, which was accurate. Then, but the thing with Western is they're doing it with so many different options. How are you going to counter all those different options? Who would have thought
pun
they were
intended
score?
with counter as we saw those great plays.
Who would have thought Ogosh would have busted out that last one, and they had the cuff in there a couple of times. So they've got guys that they're running through offensively, keeping legs fresh. We keep saying the same names for Dow: Backus, Parker, Miller. Not many other names.
Three.
A little Yider here and there, but we're not saying. So then you got to start wondering about tired legs, because again, if you're playing ground control, you're playing clock management, you're going to be in situations where you're not going to maybe be used to getting all these touches, getting all these yards, getting all this extra. Plus the defense, they're on defense as well. They're playing both sides of the ball. So I think Western has got them right where they would like them. Now we got to see what happens in the second half.
Well, Western's a little deeper. Backus is having to expend a lot of energy defensively. We'll see what kind of a factor that has. We're going to take a quick break. That puts the wraps on our Collier Chiropractic halftime show. Back with all the second half action in just a moment on BCTV.
Ow, ow, ouch! My hip, my knee, my joints feel out of whack. Ow, ow, oh my! The pain, I can't take it
anymore. Welcome back here at the start of the second half. Jeff Doan, Jason Newsham, Nick Page, and Jared Doan here with you tonight. If the second half is half as good as the first half, Jason, we're in for a wow factor finish to this game.
I tell you, I'm not expecting anything less than more fireworks, more theatrics, more activity, more action. Western's going to get the ball to start off the quarter number 3, and I tell you what, they have got so many weapons. It's pick one. Just pick one.
Well, and Western has made an adjustment, too, as they have brought their second return man back about 6 or 7 yards to try and keep that from being the kick. And then they go onside, and Frost goes, let me just gobble up this onside kick to start the second half. We're going to start our possession at the 49-yard line. Good hands, people up front making a difference.
I was thinking possibly an opportunity there for Peterson to sneak one in there. Really, he's got to play the way that the game is going. You got to really play trying to get another possession somewhere in here, and that was certainly a way maybe to try to sneak one through.
Well, he says on this field last year, I did it 3 times. Why couldn't it work again?
Yeah.
They were ready for it. 1st and 10, Western, little counter. Going to the outside, look at the speed again, turning the corner, gain of about 8 yards on the play for Ogosh.
Ogosh made that exciting because he's still just a little crease away from taking that 44 more yards. He's down to about the 44. Come to think of 44.
And you know what? It's such a nice job, too, because when you run that counter, you're forcing that backside pursuit to stay home. So there's great effect on that play. Now they're coming to the near side. Well blocked again, trying to turn around the corner with the first down and more is number 17, Aiden Robinson. We're going to move the sticks at the 34-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Western Warriors, just picking up where they left off in the first half.
Exactly. First 2 plays, trying to get to the outside, go outside, far side, both times. Robinson with the wheels. Ogosh showing he's got the wheels. Now you got the defense trying to figure out, are you going to maybe jump your gap, your responsibility a little bit further out, maybe get stuck for a little bit second, because those guys got that quick foot, and whoop, they're gone.
So Clark again will be back with a split backfield. Trying to roll to the near side or the far side of the field again. Able to make a tackle, turning around the corner. Robinson picks up another chunk of yardage, maybe just shy. Nope, they're going to mark that ball. I don't know exactly where they're doing it now. They used the side judge downfield to do that. The head linesman over there looked lost in space for a minute, but the side judge had the spot. Another 14 yards and another 1st and 10 for the Western Warriors.
Well, I tell you 2 things right there. Robinson's ability to find that crease, but again, you see how he gets 7 or 8 yards a carry as Ogosh comes back on the counter for another positive gain.
about 7 more on that play. So they're just going here, they're going there, they're going everywhere. The gain of 7 on the play again, 2nd and 3. What a methodical start to the second half here for the Western offense.
Methodical, they're just doing what they do best. And they're just a split crease away from breaking it in and putting 40 up on the board.
Now, they don't mind getting 6-7 yards at a crack and moving it down the field and taking a little chunk of the second half clock off of them.
No, and you're going to get maybe the D-backs guessing here, and now they're going to try and go up the middle. The middle has not been their friend tonight. They've not been very successful up the middle. But I think the reality of it is you've got to try it. If you don't try it,
you
they're going to
keep them honest. Yep, you got to keep those people home. If they start roaming, then, and you're in 4-down territory here. So on 2nd down and 4, you pick up a yard. Now you got 3rd down and a real short 3.
And again, you got backs that are averaging 6 yards a carry, 7 yards a carry. There's a good chance that you're going to have 2 plays to pick up 3.
Well, in D-Cup, he is a real quick person that comes on the counter play. He is the outside wing. Coming on the corner again. They should be able to get the corner. They get the corner and more. Is sniffing the goal line down to the 1-yard line is Robinson again.
Woohoo!
Mr. Robinson is doing it all in the neighborhood.
And he does it. And again, he didn't need a big crease right there. He was able to cut it back up as it looks like he's staying on the ground here for a quick second. Hopefully nothing too major.
We'll take a quick break and be back in a moment on BCTV.
You're up. There's an old saying, you can never have too many officials. The age of the average official is 52 and getting older all the time. We're constantly recruiting new people, younger people to join us. After you register with the MHSAA, look on the website to find an officials association near you. They'll put you in a position to succeed as an official. We all learned a lot from high school sports, and officiating is a great way to give back to the game. There's help wanted, just whistle.
Back here on BCTV as we see a very good sign for the Western Warriors and Aiden Robinson able to come off the field under his own power.
I think it was safe to say that he wanted to make sure he beat the trainer off the field at least, as he's going to.
There's a little counter action sniffing the goal line, and he's into the end zone. It's a Western Warrior touchdown. And they're going to go for 1 point again. I don't know, that head linesman made no indication, did not decide he wanted to even come in to get a better look at it. And then he decided, oh yeah, he's in the end zone. I'm coming in on a charge when that pile gets to the goal line. I want the closest look I can get. End result was still 6.
As Malin will come on and attempt his 6th point after tonight.
As Clark will hold for him. The extra point is up. It's plenty long, and it's good. Time out of the field with 9:38 left in our 3rd quarter of play. 42-28. Western up by 14, and we've seen this before. We'll see how it all shakes out on BCTV.
For over 75 years, Frank's Great Outdoors has served as the Great Lakes Bay region's premier hunting, fishing, and outdoor shopping destination. What started in the mid-1940s as a roadside bait and tackle stand has now blossomed into a 30,000 square foot outdoorsman's dream shopping location. Stop by the store located at 1212 North Huron Road in Linwood or shop online at franksgreatoutdoors.com to find everything you need to get your next outdoor adventure started.
Back here on Bay County TV as we're trying to get analytical during the break, and then we remember we got to come back to reality once Nick Page gives us a thumbs up.
This is going to be kicked off all the way down.
You know, we're talking about if the medium kicker, if they kick it again deep to Parker to see if they can get a good solid hit on him, but they're going to do another line drive kick, and boy, that pops right up into the return man's hands, and that is number 34 on the return. And that is Ian Batch. And again, Batch takes it out to the 44-yard line. I really think that they are worried that from the onset that Parker has the ability to take it to the house, and they are going to make them go 2/3 of the field versus all of it.
Correct, and I think the one thing, I mean, first off, Batch, that looked like a shortstop picking up a hot shot over there in the Alan Trammell-esque. But, you know, not only that, but he catches it sure-handedly, but he also made a couple nice moves to get him team out to the 44 and give Backus a little bit shorter field than Western would have liked.
Let's watch the exchange here to Backus. As they get it at 1st and 10, they move Miller to the near side here.
Another high snap. But
Miller tries to cut to the outside, and again, there's a holding penalty. And did we get a penalty flag on that? As the Western Warrior defender could not get away. Did you see the flag come out?
I did not see the flag. I think.
And Chris Willards is exactly saying the same thing. Hey, Jeff Doan saw it, and he's another 70 yards behind me. You got to make that call. That's right in front of the head linesman. That's at the point of attack. That is not allowing a defender to get to the flow of the football. He's flailing, trying to get away, which should bring extra attention, and no flag on the play.
Connor Nickel did everything he was supposed to do while he's being held. Hey, I need help here.
Second down and a long 3. If they're going to let him play, then they have to be consistent with that the rest of the ball game. The ball down on the ground. Backus is running for his life, and he just throws that thing away just over the line of scrimmage. Penalty flag down on the play.
I'm not sure there was a pre-snap. It was a false start. It was a lot of things didn't go right from the beginning on that play.
It almost looks like they're going to have an illegal motion penalty on the offense. Okay, they're going to go with the illegal procedure. That tells me because they did not blow the play dead that there were 5 in the backfield. So they let that play go. Obviously, that's going to be something that Western's going to want to accept, and that's going to make it second down and a long 8.
Both side judges both had their flags out, so that was one indication. The bad thing, the snap was on the ground. Backus just had to throw that one away before he was able to, or before he was not able to, but before he was sacked. So a lot of bad things, and the best thing about it was 5 yards.
Well, and we've got a half a dozen at least errant snaps tonight from this Midland Dow offense, so that is the potential for some concern. Trying to go to the outside and stuffed in the backfield is number 8, Zach Parker. He gets planted in the backfield for a loss on the play of about 5. Caden Granson, we could not tell who it was on the far side of the field.
But game.
Wow.
We got no lights.
Again, you're staying home, you're making your read, and you're finishing.
I tell you what, Backus, if he wouldn't have handed it off, he wasn't going anywhere either. And that was assignment defense right there, right to its core.
And I'm telling you, early in the third quarter, this is a real key play in the ball game, because if Western can get a stop and get their hands back on the ball and potentially go up 3 scores, that's going to change the complexion of this game.
Things will change quickly.
As Backus tries to come back, he's going to wing one downfield, and the receiver catches the ball and falls down short of the first down marker. He is going to be about 2 yards short, but what's Coach Peterson going to do on 4th and short? I think he rolls the dice and goes for it.
Well, we're looking at potentially a Backus sneak, get him up under center and let him go, try and get the 2 that way. Well, but you know what? Miller's been he's got a nice yard per carry tonight. He's been able to be really productive on most of his carries. Do you give him the ball, or do you let Backus try and maybe wing something out and try to get maybe a little bubble screen action?
Boy, there's so many options here.
There are.
Parker on the little bubble screen might be where I think that they're going to head. They're moving Parker in motion to the near side of the field, and they're trying to draw the Western defense off, and they are way, way too good at that. And we're coming down now to 5 seconds left. Are they actually going to run a play? I still think they're going to run it, and they try and get that play off, and the pass is in, and it's no good. And the ball gets turned over on downs again. I really think the offense got a little flat-footed there, spending so much time at the line, and Backus threw that, and unbelievable that they're not able to convert there, and they give Western this type of field position.
I think you're rolling the dice. He was throwing the ball to Parker. We knew that was coming. And, unfortunately, it was just outside the outstretched hands. I thought Malin on the defensive coverage there for the Warriors. Good news, looks like Robinson is back on the field for the Warriors on the offensive side of things. Let's see if they're going to go right to him.
He turns the corner. He picks up positive yardage. He bangs forward for about 7 yards again as he gets down to the 45-yard line of the Dow Chargers. This is exactly what I love to see from the Western Warriors at this point in the ball game. They're not in a hurry to score. They're getting 4, 5, 6, 7 yards a run. They're moving the chains. They're keeping the clock moving, and they're keeping the Dow offense off the field.
Positive gains on every down. Check. Getting different guys touches. Check. showing different fronts. Check.
Clark on the keeper, bangs forward. He's got a crease. He's at the 30, the 25, the 20, the 15, the 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He's into the end zone. Jackson Clark gets another Western Warrior touchdown.
So Coach Willis just got done calling up here to the press box saying, Doan, we're going to score.
He's like, I'm tired of watching at 5, 6, 7. I want a chunk play.
I want 7 points.
You know, and you just talked about it, TJ. The beauty of this offense is how many people have contributed in a positive way, and we haven't even talked about the big dogs up in front that are making these holes possible.
I tell you, Clark, that was his first time bringing the ball down. That one's going to be blocked as was not able to. The snap was off, the kick was off, kicked into his lineman, but we're going to take a quick break with 6:41 left here in quarter number 3. 48-28 in favor of your Bay City Western Warriors. We'll be right back on Bay County Sports TV.
So your car is getting towed and you're not sure where to take it? Try Village Towing and Auto Repair. Our expert mechanics are here to help assist you with all your repair needs. We have over 30 years of experience with motor vehicles, so you know you're getting the best work that you can find. Stop by the shop at 2377 South Huron Road in Coquitlam, or give us a call at 989-684-9607.
Wow. Western up by 20 points still. More than half of the third quarter to go. Jeff Doan, Jason Newsham, Nick Page, and Jared Doan all here tonight watching this cornfield going cornfield crazy so far.
Well, now they're going to kick it down to Parker, and they kick it right to them. Dangerous return man. Looking for the crease, looking for a crease.
And it's just like a normal return. They get it at about the 42-yard line.
But he gets hit.
Yep, and he got hit pretty good, and the lead hit came from number 24, Connor Sutkowy.
So we haven't said his name tonight, Sutkowy. I like it.
Yep, and he had a nice finish again. If you're going to get to the 41-yard line, you know, you might as well allow your kick team to get a lick on somebody.
Absolutely, and interesting to see right now what Midland Dow's looking to do. They're down 20. We know last year from the Wild West finish that they had here where they came back and 4 onside kicks in the fourth quarter. We know what they're capable of doing, but obviously so does Western.
So Frost goes back to a 2-deep safety after he's showing another look. Backus wings that ball out, and what a great crossing route and a stick at the end of that play from Malin, as he absolutely rocked number 8, Zach Parker. Parker gets up and he's like, oh my, I got put back and planted. That's not something a kicker does.
What? I haven't seen that since Sebastian Janikowski.
Well, and I'll tell you, that play took a while again as Parker had to come all the way back across the field. And they'll give him 10 yards, and Malin says, I finished with authority.
Absolutely. He'll take that lick every time.
1st and 10 now, Yiter in motion as Western coming up the middle with pressure. Quick pass on the outside and stepping out of bounds just after contact was Elza, the kicker. He's getting a little wide out look, and he picks up almost 7 on the play. We'll call it 6, second down and 4 yards to go as the Midland Dow Chargers are starting to make their own move down the field. We still have 6:01 left in our third quarter of play. And
well, we talked earlier when Midland Dow scored the first possession, missed their extra point. Let's see if that missed extra point by Western comes into any level of play for this rest of the second half.
2nd down and 4. Single back is Miller. Again, they run motion. They're trying to run a jet sweep. Backus keeps it. This time, he gets rocked, and he goes forward again as that ball is down on the ground, it looked like, for a second.
Malin is...
Boy, and Backus looks like he is a little bit shaken up as he got up. That'll be another first down. Malin is making his presence felt back there, doing a little world rocking.
I think Backus was a little bit more upset about thinking he got hit in the head. Malin just came up.
And you look at this, they brought Parker to the sideline instead of Backus to get that last play, because Backus looked like he was a little shook from that Malin hit.
It was a hard one, but that Malin hit, you know, we've known the Malin name for a long time in Bay County sports.
They know how to hit.
They do know how to hit. Take a hit and give one.
They deliver. 1st and 10 for Midland Dow Chargers. Backus is back to throw, and he's going to wing that ball out on the sideline. That ball is going to be complete, but again, a penalty flag down, and they let the play go on. It suggests to me like they have 5 in the backfield once again. See if they come with another procedure penalty.
Interesting to see the call, but I tell you, the one who's going to be upset about that one the most, Malin, just slipped right before he was able to get into his...
Oh, they're going to do a sideline warning against the Western Warriors. And that does not come with anything more than a warning, no penalty, but that'll be a gain on the play of about 9 yards. It'll be first. Oh, they're going to give them a first down on the play. From the 26-yard line, 1st and 10.
So is the sideline warning why we have a quick second here? Is that because they're talking? Is that because they're out too far outside of their box?
They're inside that box on the sideline, that 6-foot zone. And very seldom do you see that called right at the snap of the football. I don't like that timing on it, but you got to be down there and know what form of communication that you have. Backus has got pressure on him. That pass comes to the outside, and the pass is complete again. And Backus just had somebody with a little flyby going by him going, yep, I'm right there, and I'm coming back, and I'm going to visit you again.
Malin right now, I think he's trying to time that because the last 2 passes have been little flutters up. And if he can get his timing down, that one may be a pick 6 going the other way because there's nobody from the Midland Dow offense that could stop that.
Well, and the other thing that's going on, too, Western is bringing blitzes from all areas, forcing Backus to go to his first option on the pass read.
And it's not a bad thing if you're a Midland Dow fan, though, because you're getting more people involved, so you're not just keying in on Parker.
One high, and again, another pass completion just past the first down marker, but those receivers, including Parker on that time, he looks like he's just a little bit ginger getting up. They're paying the price for those receptions right now, and that will continue. You look right now, he's bent over right now, and he's feeling it.
Yeah, that was a great hit. Looked like Kason Froston on the explosive hit. They'll take those right now. It's taking time off the clock. You're getting good licks on them. You're making sure that they remember where you're at.
Another 1st and 10, though, as Dow is in the red zone right now at about the 15-yard line. Backus hasn't run since he got rocked. We'll see if that changes. Here comes the pressure again. They're rolling, and what a great call. It was just kind of like a slot screen, and he's going to get down inside the 5. He's tickling the goal line. He's into the end zone. It's a Midland Dow Charger touchdown. What they did there, Jason, they allowed the Western rush to come, anticipated it through a little short drag pattern. There was nobody home on the second level, and the offensive line just went downfield and pushed the pile into the end zone.
You know, we talk about sending messages even on the touchdown. Merrithew was in the backfield visiting Mr. Backus. I don't think they're going to be exchanging Christmas gifts or Christmas cards in the near future. It did not look like a very Santa house exchange.
The extra point attempt is coming from Miller, and they're looking like they're one short and going to have to get that up, and it's down to 10 seconds right now. It's 5, 4. Whoa, how slow is that 5-second count? Oh, my goodness. What in the world is that? Kick is up, and it is good. That's the slowest last 5 seconds I've seen in an eternity. The extra point is good. I'll reserve further judgment on that call. You know my feelings with 4:52 left in the third. 48-35. Back in a moment on BCTV.
In the fight against cancer, you are never alone. The Covenant Cancer Care Center pledges to stand by you every step of the way. And standing with us now is MD Anderson Cancer Network, a program of MD Anderson Cancer Center, one of America's leading cancer care providers. This extraordinary affiliation gives families unprecedented access to world-renowned cancer treatment plans close to home. Together, we can fight cancer, hand in hand.
Back on Bay County TV as the Midland Dow Chargers back to within 13 points at 48-35. Western again with 8 in the first 5 yards, making sure that no onside kick takes place. And again, Western is got only one deep back. We'll see if the Dow Chargers try and come to the near side of the field deep. And they're going to try another onside kick. And it looks like the Western Warriors are going to get it again. The Dow Chargers did not learn. It looks like Western has more of the good hands people up front instead of the big dogs. And it shocks me, but at the same time, Jason, you brought it up earlier. I think Coach Peterson is now sending a message. He does not feel like his defense can stop the Western offense.
I don't think so, and they haven't. So, I mean, he's not wrong. Now, the other part of it is you're going to have to figure out, you're down 2 possessions right now. You need, in football, you can't have multiple possessions without using an onside kick or turnover. So they're going to have to create something here as Robinson brings it our way as he cuts up front.
He's got the races, a seat, a beat, a 20, a 15, a 10, a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He's into the end zone. It's another Western Warrior touchdown.
I see how he averages 8.7 yards per carry.
You know what? He got to the sideline, and as he got ready to turn upfield, there was a defender that could have put their last nickel on the fact that they were going to catch him on the angle. And then he gets 15 yards downfield and puts a shake and bake move. The defensive back's pants went down around his ankles and into the end zone for the score.
Looks like we're going to change it up. Going to go for 2.
Yep.
Make it back to a 21-point game. And as far as the onside kicks and trying to find those extra possessions, there's certainly a good reason for it. As we got late number 7 running on the field, Lucas Julian looks like he's making his way out there.
And now late, the Dow Chargers snap the ball. And Western takes a time. Oh, boy, I would have gone to the line of scrimmage with 3 people coming on the field. Run your play. If it's not successful, you're still going to get half the distance to the goal. But I think Coach Willards wants to make sure he's got everybody on the same page.
There's 13 guys out there for Dow anyway, so you may want to run a play that's going to work against 13.
Well, any play runs against 13 because you're going to get a penalty for half the distance to the goal.
You'd think.
We're going to keep it right here as Coach Willards uses that timeout again. This is a big 2 points in the game. He wants to make sure that everybody is on the same page, but 54-35, and Jason, we still have 4:36 left in the third quarter. I didn't bring my tent and sleeping bag for the weekend here.
I tell you, again, I was thinking it was going to be a lower scoring game. Obviously, that was done in the first quarter. I was out of that one. It's just amazing. Again, you know the 5-6 guys that are able to do this, and you can't stop them. At least right now you can't. Robinson, again, I mean, shakes off the injury, comes back strong.
Well, how many chunk plays has the Western offense had tonight where they just turn a 10-yard gain into 50, 60, 70 yards? It's crazy. As they're going to try a little pass play on the outside. An excellent thrown ball, and that is complete. It looks like it's complete on the play to Ogak.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, my.
Oh, my gosh. Braylon with the adding a 2-point conversion on to his touchdown run from earlier.
It's 56-35, 4:36 left in the third quarter. Back in a moment on BCTV.
Hi, I'm Zoe, and today I'm here to change your outlook on becoming a referee. Sometimes being a referee can be hard work, but I'm here to tell you that the positives far outweigh the negatives. Just think of the impact you could have on the younger generation, the laughs you could share, and the lives you could change. There's an unofficiated game that needs you.
Boy, it's a good thing I had a throat lozenge before this game starts. What an incredible ball game. Jeff Doan, Jason Newsham, Nick Page, Jared Doan, glad to have you along tonight as the Western will kick again. I wonder if they've kicked this deep to Parker, if they're going to give him another how-do.
No.
He's going to get that on his own side. They're trying to wedge him in. He's going to try and go to the wide side of the field. He gets another crease. He's up over the 40 to the 45 to midfield again, and he nearly breaks it. As Western looks like they had him wedged in, and he's just got great vision and a little wiggle ability to get to the open field.
He's got a little shiftiness to his game for sure. This is going to be a big possession again. Right now every offensive possession for Midland Dow is as big as they come because they need right now, anything more than anything, they need to make sure that they get points on the board. Their defense needs time to rest and figure out some way to get this Western offense from putting any more points on this board.
We're going to find out again. We still have 4:26 left in the third, and we've been playing football for 2 hours and 15 minutes already. So, and the cornfield is rocking here as the stands are packed on homecoming. 1st and 10, empty backfield now. Backus goes with a little reverse screen on the other side of the field for a gain of about 6 yards on the play. As they fake to Miller on the near side, go to the backside, and it's again a nice chunk play on 1st down, 2nd down and about 4 yards, and we got another receiver coming up, Gimpy, and that looks like Jacob Jensen coming off as, nope, he's going to come back on the field, but he's a little nicked up as we've seen 4 or 5 Dow Chargers tonight at different points of the ball game come up Gimpy.
Yeah, I think C.J. Marathu, I just want to give him a lot of credit right now. He has been terrorizing that backfield and especially Backus, and making sure that those passes are going to have to come out even quicker because he is shedding his block up front and making sure that his presence is known back there. And these deep backs are getting everything else lined up.
Backus up the middle, and they were raking the football trying to pull it away as he gets down to the 36-yard line. Didn't really take a big hit that time, so he must feel like the cobwebs are all cleared again as he pulls forward. And he's just a big, tough, strong, physical athlete.
That's athlete, end of story. And again, he knows what it takes to win, not just in football, not just on the basketball court, not just on the baseball field. You know, he comes from great DNA. His dad was a great basketball player, great football player out here at Bay City Western, graduate of 1991.
Look at you going into the high school thesaurus to pull out that info. I love it, Coach.
Archive. I'm an archive guy.
1st and 10, the ball down on the ground. It looks like the Dow Chargers got back on it. That's at least the 6th or 7th botch snap tonight that's cost them a play.
Yeah, I tell you what, 25, Cole Benzing jumped on it, and Backus, being 6'5", that's a long way down for us to get, just for the record.
Yeah, well, but it's nice when you get 6'5" moving forward, you can cover a little real estate. Now down to 2.5 minutes left in the third. A big 2nd down and 12 yards to go, and really no sense of urgency yet from this Dow offense to try and dent this big lead of 21 points for the Western Warriors.
Well, they are being very methodical in their approach, and it's not something that you typically see, like you said, when you're down by 21 points late, as they're going to go back too deep here for Western.
I like that too deep look again, as now they fake again, and they're going to run that screen to the outside, and boom, once again, laying the wood on the intended receiver there, Will Knudsen. He didn't think he was going to see a lot of action tonight, but he got canoodled on that last play. Another loss of 3.
Johanny made sure he took advantage of that right there. That was a beautiful.
That was a little bit telegraphed that was coming, and Western, let's just say they reacted very well.
They reacted it, but again, they forced the higher pass because the pressure got in there. They recognized that it was going to be a screen, so they were able to stop and get their hands up, forcing the ball to go a little bit higher.
And the other F word, finish. They finished with a flurry.
Woo, 2 F words. It's a flurious finish.
Third and 4-14. We're going through all the Fs here. Motion now going to the wide side of the field where they'll have trips. Backus has some time. He's running for his life. He's going to throw that ball downfield. It's underthrown. That could have been offensive pass interference as they drag down Malin. And boy, the side judge looks at that. And Coach Willards, he's chirping right now. He's like, how can that not be offensive pass interference? My defender never had a chance to get that. They passed on it, and it's 4th and 14. Another huge play in this game with $1:10 left. If Dow goes for it and does not get it, that's going to give Western the ball up 3 possessions here. And in a favorable position, if he does get it, that side judge should get a coal in his stocking for Christmas from Coach Willards, because that was definitely a pull down by the offensive wide receiver.
Well, you had that, and it really was what upset me.
Double pass, and we got 2 men in motion.
But what really upset me about that is I predicted that Malin was going to get an interception, and that was his chance.
Now they blew this dead, so this has got to be on the offense. I'm curious to what they're going to call here. It has to be a false start. They can't So now they got illegal participation, and that is 12 men on the field. That is a pre-snap penalty. They caught it. They marked it. It's a 5-yard penalty. Now my question, Jason, on the fourth and a whole bunch, does that 5 yards change Coach Peterson's mind to go for it on 4th and about 18?
Well, the worst part about it was they showed the play. It was going to be a double pass.
Double pass, yep. And that's no longer going to be the element of surprise.
Right, so it definitely changes your thought process if you're still going to stick with it. However, I say you're going to have to dial something else up here. 4th down and 20. Clock is running with just about 44 seconds left here in quarter number 3.
Motion to the near side. They're not running a jet sweep. Backus going down the middle, throws a deep ball, and they're going to get a penalty on this against the Western defense.
That was
a little bit of contact down there. I'm not going to.
I will say this. He was throwing that flag before the contact got there.
All right, but now, what am I going to tell you here, brother? It's a 15-yard penalty. It's still going to be 4th down. That's not a spot foul. They're going to go back to the line of scrimmage. They're going to mark off 15, and Midland Dow's going to have to run another play on 4th down.
Correct, but if we're going to go back,
consistency
it just shows you how it can change the entire course. If this is a one-possession game, if this was a tie game, you can't call a penalty based on the score and who's down. You can't. When Malin gets pulled down, it's an offensive interference. If you're going to say that he got there a split second early, maybe there was contact. We're up here. Maybe there was something. However, there's no consistency.
Yep.
I'm a coach, so that's all I care for from the officials.
It's consistently inconsistent.
Very much so.
That is not good. That is not an automatic 1st down, so it'll still be 4th down and 3. Don't know what all the confab is going here. As they're telling Coach Willards what's going on right now. It's still 4th down. It's 4th and 3, so Coach Willards going to get a little explanation. And while he gets that explanation, his defense gets a little blow.
Very smart move right there.
They can see the offensive formation, understand what they're probably up against.
Yeah, it was nice for him to walk out, gets out to the 30, because now they have to wait for him to exit the playing field.
He kind of just meanders off, knowing his kids are, they got that 42-second blow, and that's what they're going to need to make a play here on 4th and 3. Now we've got a timeout on the field, and I believe Coach Peterson now wants a timeout. Western had too much time to look at that formation, had it perfectly well defensed. We'll take a break and be back in a moment on BCTV.
Is your pain holding you back from things you enjoy, like playing with your grandchildren or participating in a sport? At Collier Chiropractic, we specialize in neck pain, back pain, headaches, or sciatica that won't go away. If you've tried chiropractic, you've tried physical therapy, you've gone to your medical doctor with no results, or you take medication and it doesn't even touch your pain, then put this number in your phone, give us a call, see how we're different at Collier Chiropractic Bay City.
Back on Bay County TV once again, Jeff Doan, Jason Newsham, Nick Page, Jared Doan. Glad to have you along with us tonight. And being an official, I like to be complimentary of the job that they do and everything that transpires, but you strive for consistency in everything that you do in any sport, and we just have not seen that.
No, it's been a little inconsistent, and as a coach, that's all you can ask for.
There's another low snap. Baker's back. He's trying to let that ball go into the middle, and it's picked off by the Western Warriors. They're going to get back, and that looks like that might be Lucas Julian. Is that who got that pick off?
We're going to go with number 7.
I think that was, nope, that is number 3 on that interception, and that is Forrester.
I tell you what, they need lights on these jerseys.
It is crazy. Now, they picked up a few yards on that because they're out to the 30 now from about the 27. But again, very, very important. The timing of that play is off because Backus gets that ball off his shoestrings, has to pick it up and loses touch. Now we're going to have another penalty, thinking that we're going to have 12 men on the field again.
Yeah.
And they're not going to get that pre-snap, and I think Western's going to end up with 15 yards on this.
Well, the worst part is he ran all the way over there, then he stopped.
Yep.
Like
I thought that, well, and there was a wide receiver out there that was virtually uncovered as well. So I thought maybe for a minute he's heading there. But you count the bodies on the field. He went off the field, and you still see 11. So that did not get called before the snap. So they ought to roll off 15 here. And they indeed are. So another break for the Western Warriors as they get a free 15. Well, you know what? Anytime you get a free 15 of real estate, you go, Yahoo!
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Take it out.
And with 23.1 ticks left, I don't believe Western's going to need to run another play here in this third quarter if they don't want to.
I think they want to.
Running around the outside.
Running Robinson.
With room. Run, Rudy, run, as Robinson goes around the outside, picks up another chunk of real estate. They're going to move the sticks and
not stop the clock.
They won't stop the clock, and that will be the end of our third quarter of play. Wouldn't have mattered if it happened before or after, but that's the end of the third quarter of play, and our score. Western with 56, as I hope those light bulbs are able to stay lit with all those numbers on there. And the Midland Dow Chargers 35. Back in a moment for the fourth quarter on BCTV.
Village Towing and Auto Repair of Kaukaulin and Bay City is here to help you in your hour of need with fast and friendly service. With over 30 years of towing experience, we know how to get the job done quickly and safely. From big to small, we do it all. Give us a call at 989-684-9607 for all your towing needs.
Back here on Bay County TV as we start the fourth quarter, 41 yards away from the way the rest of the game has gone. You should say most certain pay dirt.
I don't think there has been a possession that has not ended in the Western Warrior with the exception of the interception.
The only lonely guy tonight on the Western sideline's the punter. He hasn't had to see the field. And there's a quarterback keeper. There's finally the first time that there's been a little crease tonight, and that picks up 4 yards, and it'll be enough to move the sticks down to the 37.5-yard line. First and 10 for the Western Warriors.
That was a safe play. You know, we just talked about running a play at the end of the quarter. It was a safe play, got all the guys going every direction, and all of a sudden when you've got Robinson going one way, you got Olgosh going the other way, you got the defense figuring out which one has the ball, and the quarterback can just whoop up the middle for a couple yards and get the first down.
How's that go, TJ?
Whoop.
Little whoop. Here we coming around the corner again with room to run. And another great run down the sideline. Nope, they're going to have him out of bounds before he ends up going into the end zone. Robinson says, I wanted to be playing in the Canadian Football League. I'd be in the end zone right now.
He was squirting his way through.
Holy cow, another 9-yard gain on first down.
I thought he was taken down in the backfield at first, and then he squirted through there, and then all of a sudden he had another little spot.
Well, I will say that there may have been a little bit of potential holding at the point of attack. So if the officials didn't call it earlier, I commend them for not calling it this time. Again, following your block. First down and more. Staying in bounds. It will stop the clock to get the chains moved. That ball carrier is Julian. And tacklers on the play were led by Yeiter. And there is some hands on the hip for the defense from Midland Dow, as they are really getting worked over.
This is the longest they've been on the field.
Yep.
Normally the Westerns has already scored, so
they expend a lot of energy, though, running back off the field after a touchdown.
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, it's surely in jest. There has been a ton of energy expended by both teams tonight. It's been a great effort football game, but the Western Warriors have delivered the blows time after time. And again, just bouncing off people and pushing forward for another gain of about 8 yards on the play.
Lucas Julian again.
Yep, Julian's taking his turn right now, and the defenders for Midland Dow are just feeling beaten right now. Another 8-yard run where they got 6 yards. Julian got 6 yards after first contact.
Yeah, he again, we're talking about players who initiate contact, who don't shy away from contact.
Well, and he's fresh. He's coming in, and he's a name we haven't said a lot till right now, but Coach Willards is using that bigger back right now. Now they're using a little clock management as now they wait for the back judge to go up with 10 seconds and they run the play. They're going to run Julian again. Julian bangs forward, hit a yard deep, and he pushes the pile forward for 4.
Just reminds me of a battering ram is what he reminds me of, a little Corey Schlesinger style run.
And it's just great right now because they've used him 4 plays in a row. Haven't had to use him a lot early in this game. He's coming in, he's fresh, and he's pounding it down 1st and goal at the 8.
Well, now they're setting him up. Maybe for Clark with a little fake and a little quarterback.
I don't think we do anything more than give it to Julian, man. He's just pounding it forward. Let him finish.
Let him finish. Our girl. No, we'll see. We'll see.
Clark's waiting again for the back judge to go up with that 10 seconds, so they've taken 30 seconds off of the clock. And again, why not give it to Julian? He comes down, and he's going to get down to the 5-yard line, so he picks up 3, and boy, down here inside the 10, you'll take 3 yards at a crack.
Absolutely. And we call it the Jeff Beisel School of Offense, but that was the 1980s School of Offense.
And when you look at this, this is the first methodical drive the Western Warriors have had to use in this game. They've taken a huge chunk of clock up, and they're down right now 5 yards away from pay dirt.
I think you're going back, and looking at your different packages. You've got your speed guys. This group in there right now reminds me a little bit more of the physicality part of it.
And there's Clark on the quarterback keeper, untouched into the end zone. It's another Western Warrior touchdown.
God, I could have swore one of us was just talking about setting up. I mean,
you're a soothsayer of men.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but was that just not going on in our booth?
But you know what? The beauty of that is set up by Julian, pounding and pounding and pounding. And it's like, I'm telling the defense, Julian's going to get it. Now the defense looks at Julian. Whoop, Clark goes around the other side untouched into the end zone for 6. Extra point is up, and that is blocked. So it's a dead ball. Time out of the field with 9:03 left in the ball game. The point differential's almost reminiscent of the time from last year's game. I have a funny feeling the outcome of this game will be different than the way the last game at the cornfield ended.
I agree, but let's go back to that last play on the quarterback sneak. The quarterback keeper. Julian was met by 7 white jerseys. And you want to know how he's like, hey, whoop.
Come see me.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for the Thanks for the welcome.
Yeah, my quarterback just went untouched into the end zone. And you know what? Masterful play calling by the Western offense because, again, you hammer Julian and hammer Julian and hammer Julian. Now you get to the play where Coach says, I think they're going to just key on Julian because we've run him 5 plays in a row. Nobody even looks at Clark, and he goes untouched into the end zone.
Well, Robinson got him started with his little squirt through for 9 yards before they went with the power package, I guess we're going to call it. But,
and they were getting 8-9 yards on first down, too. And, boy, as a coach, you got to love your playbook on 2nd and 2 and 2nd and 1.
When you've got guys that are able to speed up. And see, Parker looks like is that Parker back there? Can't see a number right now.
It's been Parker all night long, but he has paid the price for some of his returns. Oh, there's not Parker back there, and that is going to be number 22 on the return, Blazer. And Blazer is stuck back at the 5. Little miscommunication. Blazer thought the up back was going to get it. He couldn't get to it. Blazer was coming up to lay a block, and now they got to go 95 yards of real estate. So a little miscue by the special teams of the Midland Dow Chargers.
Interesting to see here for Midland Dow as they come out, not just being 95 yards away, not just being down by 27 points at this particular moment, but do you rest your starters? Do you give them a little bit of a break? Do you try to see what else you've got on your roster?
I think this drive will determine what they do the rest of the game. If they can come down and score quick points, they feel like they still have a chance. If they don't score on this possession, I think all their starters get out of the game because there's going to be a whole lot of people taking an ice bath tonight as the Western Warriors have really initiated the licks tonight on the Midland Dow Chargers.
Oh, they have been. This second half has been something special to watch. If you're the defensive coordinator, you're the defensive coaches with the Warriors. They have really played a great second half as Backus tries to take off and a little shoestring tackle.
He gets 10, and A little helmet coming off, so getting to come off for a play. But again, what you do is you've got a 9-yard gain. You've got the clock continuing to roll. And as long as you're giving up less than 10 on a play, they're going to burn right now another 30 seconds by going to the sideline, coming back, calling the play, and getting to the line of scrimmage. And at that point, the urgency is not there with the offense to try and think that they've got a chance to come back.
No, and again, you're looking at what you got on first down. Are we able to get something a little bit more? Are we able to break it? There's a little screen action coming back here. Oh, broken tackle.
And a first down, but again, paying the price is Parker. And one of the Western Warriors coming up a little bit gimpy right now. And that's perfect time to get Kohaney out as they got another defender just sitting there waiting to come in, and that's number 18, Tate Dutcher.
That's always a nice thing, too, and I think that's one of the benefits that Coach Willards has with this squad is we have mentioned a lot of names for the Western Warriors. And again, we apologize for not being able to see all of the tackles and everything going through. That's on us, but we still have mentioned a lot of names out there on that roster.
Again on the 2 deep, and there is an incomplete pass, and it took a while for them to blow it. Now, when that happens, TJ, the first thing I do is my mindset goes and my eyes go right to the head linesman, because if that's coming towards him and he feels that's a lateral pass, he's going to punch backwards, and that tells the referee and everybody else, do not blow the whistle. That's a live ball when it hits the ground, and he did not do that, but he was a little delayed in calling it an incomplete pass.
Well, I'm not rating anybody tonight. I rate us.
And I would say what we've done tonight, other than trashed our voices, has been nothing but beauty. Second down and 10.
I still haven't lost a game up here.
Vegas is going to go back, and he's going to try and wing one downfield, and a perfectly thrown ball to number 32 on the play for a big completion is Landon Miller.
The wheel route was that?
Miller came out of the backfield and ran the wheel, and that's a huge chunk of real estate, but they're also taking a huge chunk of time with 7.5 left in regulation.
Just waiting for the old referee to wave that arm, and that clock starts rolling. As we are under 7.5 here in quarter number 4.
Now the beauty is you got Backus right in front of his bench, so he can get the signal quick to get that play in. But you're still looking at about 25 seconds of play, and boy, the simple math says they're going to run out of time when they're trying to get back from this many points. Backus back, and he's going to wing it again, and he throws another perfect strike to a receiver who's going to pick up, and that's Miller again. And Miller picks up about 16, 17 yards on the play.
And so out of bounds.
Nope, stayed in bounds. So they're going to start that clock. Chains are set. Referee, let's get that thing rocking. Are they going to rule that he was out of bounds?
Yeah,
I thought that he fell in bounds. But with 7:04 left, still 62-35 Western on top. And again, when I said they started at the 5, Jason, if they score, I believe they feel obligated to come back out the next series with that offense.
Onside kick opportunity. We know what happened last year. We talked about what happened last year. Some of us don't know what happened last year, but Western was comfortably ahead in the 4th quarter, and Midland out took it to them, and a bunch of onside kicks later as a nice tackle. Kept them in bounds. Is that number 10? Number 10, Connor Nickel. 10 on 10.
And Nickel beats Yider. And again, another Western Warrior in the backfield, and they're doing nothing more than just putting a hand on the hip to just remind them that they're there. And Backus has had a phenomenal game. He's winging the ball all over again, but there you got a 1-yard gain, and the clock is rolling. He goes to the sidelines to get the play call and get it up to the line of scrimmage. If they score and try an onside kick, how ironic would it be for Midland Dow to try 3 onside kicks this year and get none of them compared to what happened last year?
Well, the irony is that everyone's a little bit wiser now.
There's a deep ball just overthrown and almost exhausted on the ground as Zach Parker, as he really gave everything he had, but he just couldn't stretch out, and Backus probably wishes he had that one back, Jason.
Yeah, I think Backus is tickling about 300 yards right now, or he's going to be pretty close to it. He has only had about 5 or 6 incompletions. He's been pretty spot on. I've really liked it ever since that first pass where he was able to really let it go and really was able to show us and you guys watching at home just that type of touch that he has and an effortless look. It doesn't look like he's having to wing it, hurting anything. He just looks like he's having some fun out there and tossing the ball in the backyard with his dad, Jason.
And have you noticed what they've done the last 2 series? They've got somebody else going to the sidelines to get the play. Backus is staying in the backfield trying to catch his breath. 3rd down and 8 yards to go. And we have got a timeout by Western as they saw something that they maybe didn't like. We're going to take a quick break and be back in a moment on BCTV.
You treat your family with extraordinary care every day, which is why when it comes to their health, more of you choose Covenant Healthcare. We specialize in extraordinary care, from diagnosis to recovery, from babies to grandparents. Learn more about our extraordinary bariatrics program. Sign up for our free seminar.
Back on Bay County TV, as we'd like to thank our sponsors, Covenant Healthcare, Bay City Bills, Village Towing, Frank's Great Outdoors, Collier Chiropractic, and the Bay City Public Schools. 6 great sponsors climbing on board for the entirety of the football, basketball, softball, baseball, lacrosse, anything else we decide to do in sports. They're there for all of it.
And we're happy to be able to cover it for all of our Bay County sports fans. Bringing you all of the action.
3rd down and 8. Western shows a little different look defensively. Backus back. He's got time to throw the football. He reaches up. He's got a wide open Miller. Miller's going to cut back to the middle. Miller is going to still get down to the 6-yard line before he's stopped. Boy, could have got the first down, could have got out of bounds and stopped the clock. As soon as that ball's set, they're going to lose some valuable time.
That and the fact that he got rocked a couple of extra times every time he got hit.
Well, he's definitely going to be hobbling when he gets out of bed tomorrow. The first couple of steps are going to be tough.
Oh, yeah. Ow. I think I'm just going to lay here, Mom.
Yep. Bring me breakfast in bed. Down to 5:40 and counting left in the ball game. 1st and goal now for the Midland Dow Chargers. Backus hands that ball off to Miller. Miller's trying to get upfield. He's going to sneak to the goal line. Is he in? He's into the end zone. It's a Midland Dow Charger touchdown.
Lots of game left here with just under 5.5. What do you think's going through Coach Willard's mind right now?
Well, first thing he's saying is Midland Dow's only got 1 timeout left, and that's a thing of beauty. And he said the other thing that we've got going for us is we've already perfectly played 2 onside kicks. There's no reason to believe we can't get the 3rd one.
Well, I think, one of the things that we had heard last year was on the onside kicks, not maybe having the right personnel in there. Maybe some contact. There's a lot of different things that could have been happening prior to as they're going for 2 here.
Backus is going for 2, and he has got somebody all over him. Great job defensively, knocking it away. The 2-point conversion is no good. Jason, hold the thought. Timeout on the field with 5:28 left in the game. 62-41. Western by 21. Back in a moment on BCTV. Inside, outside, or even in your home, there are lots of ways to enjoy amazing food from Bay City Bills. Our dining room is ready for you, and so is our new outdoor seating. And we are ready for you with takeout, too. Stop in to Bay City Bills at 1215 Michigan Avenue, or find us on Facebook or at www.baycitybills.com to see our full menu. Back here on BCTV as the train comes by and toots its approval of the scoreboard. The Western Warriors on top by 21 with 5:28 left. And again, 3 deep and 8 good hands people up front for the Western Warriors as the ball is ready to be kicked off by Eli Elza.
You're going to see those guys. Looks like they're going to try maybe do the same thing, kick it forward, just try and get enough speed.
And that ball takes a great Sunday hop for the Western Warriors.
The case of frost wouldn't surprise me.
Sure is.
Well, normally he gets up and does a little dance, so we know.
Little shimmy. Again, when we talked about the first one, Jason, and then the second one happened, it told us all we needed to know about Coach Peterson from Midland Dow Chargers saying, tonight is not the night for my defense. They probably are a pretty good defense, but they have just been carved up by the Western offense tonight.
And you're going to get a little power pack, more of the Julian.
Julian is at the 30, the 20, the 15, the 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He's into the end zone. It's another Western Warrior touchdown.
Even when you know it's coming.
Oh, my. Boy, did he ever make somebody miss at the line of scrimmage with just a little jump over a tackle where they tried to get him around the shins, and he just turned on the Betty in the chest to get into the end zone for 6.
Well, let's see. Looks like they're going for attempt for 2 to get, why not?
Well, if you got an opportunity to work on something, and if you remember back to last year, they relied on the 2-point conversion for most of the year, and they made a very high percentage of those 2-point plays. So we've got timeout on the field. Midland Dow is going to use their last timeout to keep the 2-point conversion from potentially happening. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back 68-41 here on BCTV.
For over 75 years, Frank's Great Outdoors has served as the Great Lakes Bay region's premier hunting, fishing, and outdoor shopping destination. What started in the mid-1940s as a roadside bait and tackle stand has now blossomed into a 30,000 square foot outdoorsman's dream shopping location. Stop by the store located at 1212 North Huron Road in Linwood, or shop online at franksgreatoutdoors.com to find everything you need to get your next outdoor adventure started.
Back here on Bay County TV, as the Western Warriors going for a deuce, trying to put a 70 spot on the board. Penalty flag down, and they've got this play stopped. We're going to have a false start on the offense, which is going to back them up to the 8-yard line, and that might change the percentage of their success on the 2-point conversion, but I still believe they're going to try and go for the 2 points.
I don't think they've seen 70 points on the scoreboard since the Bill Smiley days here at Bay City Western. We're going way back into the early 80s.
And that is, it's amazing because I do not know the last time or if Western has ever been able to have an opportunity to put 70 on the board. As the ball is handed off, snip at the goal line, into the end zone. The 2-point conversion is done. 70 points on the board for the Western Warriors to 41 for the Midland Dow Chargers. Back in a moment, as this one looks like it is history on Bay County TV.
Students throughout Michigan are helping prevent school violence and tragedies by using OK to Say.
The program helps empower students to confidentially report
harmful behavior so they can get the help they need.
Learn more at oktosay.com.
Back on BCTV, I'm just pleasantly surprised all these lights light up on the scoreboard up to 70 points. There's been some serious stress on the electric grid tonight on that scoreboard.
Well, the last time they seen 70 like this with 5 left in the fourth quarter was when Bill Titoff was running the run and shoot, the run and gun with Mark Whitbrook back in '92.
So here's the kickoff, a line drive kick. It's going to be taken by an up back at the 22-yard line. That is number 34 on the play, Batch.
He's been getting his fair share of kickoff returns tonight as the middle guy.
He's up to the 37-yard line. I would be shocked if you see Backus coming back out onto the field based on the score and based on how beat up these players are. They're certainly going to have to really regroup this week as the defense for Midland Dow, and maybe Midland Dow has never given up 70 points in a game before.
Well, there's a lot of, we got some guys right now checking on our record books here, but Midland Dow is a very proud football program, and you're right, this may be the most amount of points that they have.
They're bringing Parker out right now from that offensive set, and I really feel that is a great move for them for the rest of the season. They've still got a whole lot to play for, and they've got to be healthy to make a run because they do not have huge numbers on this team. The pass is complete on the play from the quarterback, number 7, Jacob Jensen. As a penalty flag in the backfield, we potentially maybe have a late hit on Jensen.
Was a late hit. Number 52 got in there, Zach Resmer, which just, the thing about this is how he didn't think he hit him late, because not only did he hit him, but he started jogging back away. Usually when you late hit, you wait for the flag. He's just hit him, got up, and started jogging back to, and now he's going to have a little conversation with Coach Willard saying, hey, look, don't hit the quarterback after he throws it. You got one step, end the story.
Well,
discipline.
There's a way to do it. And the way to do it is not the way that you're going to draw attention at 15 yards. And that doesn't mean a thing for tonight. But, again, I like the fact that Coach Willards is using this as a teaching moment.
Yeah, and he doesn't just based on the score not stop or stop coaching.
Ball carried by number 25, Armour. Oh, excuse me. It is Benzing.
Yeah, I think the one thing that I really, really like about Coach Willards and through last year is, man, not only does he have a lot of fun, but he really keeps coaching from whatever the score is. We saw it last year against Bay City Central. We saw it last year coaching every play in that Midland Dow playoff game. Saw him when he was playing Midland High here. He just loves what he does, and he loves taking opportunities to teach.
And the kids respond very well. That ball carried once again, it looks like, by Benzing. And Benzing picks up a couple of yards. And these are important snaps for these kids that don't normally get a whole lot of activity, but Western with a nice stop, and I believe the initial hit was by Brendan Herber.
Yeah, Jensen, a junior, getting the ball to Benzing, another junior, so this is an opportunity for these guys to get, 5-6 minutes worth of valuable varsity experience.
D-Cuff coming off, and he's a little gimpy too. This has been a hard-hitting football game.
Oh, these guys have taken their licks for both sides.
And it's been 3 hours long, too.
And it's warm.
And we've still got 4 minutes left in the game. 3rd down and 2, another high snap. Trying to come this way, maybe getting back to the line of scrimmage was Benzing again. As the defender's getting up out of the bottom of that stack. Looks like that was number 10, Nickel.
Nick
Dorn
just brought up number 30. Yeah,
yep.
Number 30, just getting a little extra love. We were given his number pregame. As Cason Frost comes off to a bunch of high fives, it should be his last snap of the night.
Yep, no need for him to see any more action, but he's been an integral part on both sides of the football tonight, and great to see that they've been able to make it happen on both sides. Pass to the outside was nearly turning into a pick six, but it falls incomplete, and it'll be 4th and 3.
That will be a first down for Western.
That was 4th down.
3.
I looked at the down box, and they were just changing it, but they went from 4 to 1. So the Western Warriors with 3:20 left. Really, if they pick up one first down here, they should be able to run the clock out.
Right. They got no timeouts left for Midland Dow, which is one less way to stop the clock. But the other thing is you can't tell your guys not to run. So
now Western takes a timeout. We'll take a quick break and be back in a moment on BCTV.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Back on Bay County TV, Jeff Doan, Jason Newsham, Nick Page, Jared Doan. We talked during the break, and you've got other people out here playing, and you certainly can't tell these kids to just roll over now that they're up. So they're going to run real basic plays, but we'll find out what happens now as they're trying to figure out what the intricacy of that play is.
Jackson.
And now they're missing an offensive lineman. They're going to get somebody out there that needs to do it.
Now his 5 count's going pretty good.
Yep. Get it done. And they get it off. And on first down, a loss of a yard on the play. But I'll tell you what, if that quarterback keeps that ball, he's still running.
Julian on the carry. And again, you hand it off. You can't tell him with the amount of time, the down distance, time, and everything else. You can't just take a knee, so you still have to play. Thus, the defense has to make a tackle. But if you do get one first down, this game is essentially all in the bag.
Well, and I'll tell you, while the game was still in the balance, Julian came in and had 5 or 6 runs in a row that just flat out smashed that defense from Midland Dow.
Oh, he's the battering ram. He is the thunder to the lightning of Robinson and oh gosh, so we're going to get another.
Looks like the ball carrier on the play might be number 22, Berthume.
They're going to give it to Berthume, number 23.
Yep, he loses a half a yard, so it's going to be third down right now as we're approaching the 2-minute mark left in the game. And boy, there might be an opportunity yet for the Western punter. He might have one opportunity to see if he's got a thunderfoot.
We talked about the scoring of Western tonight. What do you think that this is the highest scoring game in Bay City Western history?
Football history. Their storied history since 1974. Wait until the last couple of seconds. Trying to come to the near side of the field, getting some hands, and a very nice run, very close to the first down mark, and we've got 2 flags on the play. And that's normally going to go against the offense.
Tyler Nachero.
Boy, Nachero had a nice run. He picked up about 8-9 yards on the play.
So what happens now is, what do you got? You got third down. They're going to push it back unless they're going to take the penalty.
Now they're going to take the penalty, and I'm almost certain that that penalty is going to be on the offense.
No, they're going to push him back, which makes it third down again. Now in this situation, does the clock stay stopped?
Nope.
So it's a hold. They're going to push him back, so it'll be third down, and it's a spot foul, so they're going to push him back down 10 yards from where the penalty was.
Moving him way back down to the 21-yard line.
So now it puts it about third down and 24-ish.
And it's third down in a country mile. I think the 2 ambulances just decided to leave so they didn't get stuck in traffic.
I don't blame them.
Clock starts again with a buck and a half left in the ball game. Third down and about 25.
And your clock on this one after a penalty, 25 seconds or 40 seconds?
25.
All right, so he's just waiting for the back judge there to signal 10.
Yep, and he'll do that in about 3 seconds. Yep, goes up right now, and they're going to run a play. And a little bit different result than the first time is the ball carrier bangs forward.
Looks like Nachero again.
Yep. Nachero with another nice run. And it's going to be fourth down right now, but we're down to the last minute. If I'm Western right now, I take a delay of game so that they're down to about 20 seconds. You run a play, and maybe Midland Dow has 1 play left. Maybe you bring your punter out so that you can work on that exchange. But he's not going to bring that hand up for about another 2 seconds. Yep, down, up it goes. They run another play on third down. And Ajaro gets the ball. He gets the first down and more as he rambles out over midfield down to the 46. A highlight reel run for that young man.
Well, he got his first one called back on the hold. He wasn't going to let the second one be the same. So with 21 seconds left, they will move the chains. The referee will wind his arm, and
they won't need to run another play. If they choose to, they might give the ball to Machizo again. Nope, they're going in victory formation, but they do not need to snap the ball again. And I think that they're going to bring it to the sidelines as they're down to 15 seconds left. A major message in the SVL has been sent tonight, Jason.
The weapons that Western has been
and they're trying to get after Coach Willards. They want to give him a bath. And he'll take it. He ran away from it at first. And that's all there is.
There is no more.
The final score in our ball game, Western Warriors 70 and the Midland Dow Chargers 41. We're going to be back in a minute to put the wraps on this. And oh boy, do we got highlights in just a moment on BCTV. Back on the post-game show here on BCTV. Woo, wow, and record-setting
performance. It was a game that obliterated everything that I thought coming into it. I thought Western was more dynamic than what they've shown through the first 3 weeks. I know a lot of their athletes. I've seen them on the football field. Kind of surprised that, scoring 21 last week at Traverse City, the week before Petoskey, and a loss that not a lot of points.
Party.
Yeah, this is something that I guess I had expecting out of this group coming up as this team has grown from their freshman year to their JV year now to their varsity season, especially that junior group. You got Robinson Jr., Ogosh a junior, Clark's a junior, Kohaney, the one guy who scored, was a senior. So there were a lot of options. Julian Jr., a lot of options, and it was just like offensive firepower, and you couldn't figure out where the next score could come from.
How much fun is it for a coaching staff? No matter what button you push, you find success.
It's almost like Tecmo Bowl, or Madden. It's just like sometimes you just know the right combination, and if you throw it right here, Jerry Rice is going to go for 80 yards every time. Look, Joe Montana looked great. It's fun. It's no different than running plays, on a basketball court and the guy's hitting 3 after 3 after 3. It's like whatever, just let them go. But for Coach Willards and his staff to be able to go, okay, we're going to throw Julian in. He's a little bit more of a power back. Let him punish him a little. Well, he ends up sprinting for a touchdown. Robinson goes for a touchdown. Ogosh goes for a touchdown. Kohaney goes for a touchdown. Clark says, you know what, I want to go for a touchdown. And just being able to pick that off as a staff, and this play, and then they go for 6, and subsequently most of the time went for 7.
When we've talked a couple of times during the game about the fact that Peterson early in the second half went to the onside kick,
right after halftime,
that set us up for the fact that he feels like that is the only chance that his team has, because they could not stop Western all night long. The punter was the lonely guy on the sidelines. He never got a chance to touch the field.
We don't even know who it is. So, 35-28 at halftime. We talk at the halftime about making adjustments. They come out. I thought maybe we'd see an onside kick just from the standpoint you need the possessions. And in football, you can get extra possessions by turnovers and by onside kicks. And what happened is they tried it. Frost bounces on it. All of a sudden, Western scores, and now it's 42-28 in the blink of an eye. And it really puts you on the defensive when you can't trust your defense to go out there and execute, and where you have to use the onside kick as extra possessions. So I think he showed his hand after halftime. Western puts 35 points up in the first half, 35 points up in the second half, but adjustments made by the defense into the second half for Western held them to 13 points. But that first drive when Dow had their first possession in the second half and Western was able to get the stop, I really think you started seeing the tide turn. And then, of course, when they got the ball back to their offense was doing everything
miraculous.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
and to me, the other difference in the ball game is the Western defense laid the heavier hits on Dow than vice versa, and I really think as the second half went on, that paid huge dividends.
Well, when you're watching a heavyweight fight, what are you always looking for? You're looking for body shots. You're looking to wear them down, so when you get to the 7th and 8th round, you can throw a knockout punch. That is no different than what you saw Western do. The difference on the defensive side for Dow tonight was Western's dynamic and explosiveness was they weren't having to hit anybody. They weren't able to touch anybody. So they were scoring 15, 16-second possessions and not being able to hit anybody. And on the flip side of it, offensively, when you have those 9-minute possessions like the first drive of the game, and take that into account, they scored 70 points in almost 3 quarters worth of work. So after that first drive that Dow had, there wasn't a lot of opportunity for the Dow defense to hit the Western offense because they were scoring so quickly.
Well, record-setting 70 points for the Western offense.
Confirmed.
A message sent.
Confirmed by the Golden Tablet himself.
The Golden Tablet, Lee Thompson. And I think this really sends a message to the rest of the SVL.
Well, again, when you're watching them on film, you're going to have to really depend on your gap integrity, as you call it, your defensive assignment, your defensive discipline to really – they're not doing anything they didn't do last year. They're just inserting new bodies, and these bodies are a little more explosive in some areas, maybe not as hard as hitting as they had last year, more the fullback mentality where they were running the ball up the middle for 6-7 yards. But certainly they have their own little thunder and lightning out there, and they're doing a great job. And I think that's exciting for Western. And now to continue on, as they're 3-1 now as they venture into the heart of their conference in the Valley.
And I know they score record-setting 70 points. I would also venture a guess they got a record number of offensive yards. I would say unofficially they probably got over 600 yards of offense tonight, which is 2 weeks' work for a lot of people.
It is. And what they did on offense, just to go back to Midland for a second, it really overshadowed, Jack Backus, the quarterback for Dow. He was tickling 300. I don't have his official numbers in front of me. But he didn't throw a lot of incompletions, and he was really on spot. Sometimes as a quarterback, when you have to wing it 30, 35 times, when you'd rather like the first drive where you're able to run it a couple of times and have some more balance, that's not a good thing. That means you're losing. But the Western offense on the flip side of it, they had to be touching that number. They had to be close because their bursts were long. And, you score 10 times, good things happen.
Well, and a record crowd here tonight, just massive numbers of people for homecoming. I don't think a single Western Warrior fan went home disappointed tonight.
No, and I told you earlier.
And they
during
stayed.
The break, they stayed. You get to a homecoming game and you're not sure about the football team, the product on the field, and Coach Willis really has this community sewn up in terms of their support for his Western football program. And I say his Western, he's the first one to tell you it's our Western football program. And
he's the face.
He's the face. But the job, just standing out there while watching the activities and people, I've seen so many times where 25, 30% of the crowd leaves, and this crowd stayed into it. And the cheerleaders did 70 push-ups. God bless them.
Yeah, they're going to sleep well tonight. They're going to have sore triceps. But we could talk all night long about this great victory. Next week, we have got the All Saints Peck matchup. I will be in West Virginia, so we'll be blessed to have Mike Guazdala working with you. So he'll be back to his old stomping grounds. But that about puts the wraps on our show. On behalf of the whole team, I'm Jeff Doan along with Jason Newsham and Nick Page and Jared Dones for his special help tonight. Have a great night, and we will talk to you next week.